Welcome back, everybody, to Tabletop Notch.
Oh, we're so stupid!
Yes. No, said careful. Toss, give him the toss.
God!
Well, look who it is.
Oh,
He sees you. Hello.
hi!
And he sort of sits up a little bit, rubs his eyes. Alright, everybody. In Season 2, Chapter 48, To Kingdom Comeuppance, a strained silence between Graven and the ambiguous approaching silhouette was finally broken when he called out to demand that it reveal its identity. The voice that came back was a familiar one, and stepping forward out of the fog was our former associate, Jillian Casivo, who we hadn't seen since fleeing the harvesting yard in the Shocky Mountains. She was a bit worse for wear, but still her same formidable self, though it was hard to get a read on whether she was here to advise us or turn us in. Having guessed at our hiding spot thanks to a tip from a certain dwarven alchemist, Jillian walked us through the events of the days leading up to now from the Shade Assembly's perspective, which involved, above all else, a desire to dampen the growing influence of the meddling gods. Advised by former operative Josko Tibbets, the intention was to capture one of Kuuzni's clerics and kill the other, then lock the holding pens down as a soul shelter, where the remaining cleric could be dealt with as they saw fit, without worrying about divine intervention. We'd thrown a wrench into their plans when we managed to sneak into Finlock Forest unnoticed, at which point the assembly thought it safest to simply let Graven and Aswin duke it out, but the next thing that happened was an irreversible course of action that couldn't be accounted for. When Josko reached out to Orba and she activated the soul shelter, both of the light clerics were still alive, and furthermore, representatives of the Shade Assembly had yet to arrive, meaning that to deal with whoever emerged victorious, they would have to unseal the holding pens, which would give Kuuzni an opening to reconnect with his chosen mortal and perhaps reclaim his power. There was obviously a lot at play that we could not see as outsiders, but our efforts had led to a severed Godstrand, a dozen rescued Goliaths, and the deterioration of Finlock Forest itself, which was certainly a positive outcome, even if it made us fugitives of the Shade Assembly for a time. Jillian concluded our chat by revealing two important bits of information. One, a strong implication that she would be retiring from her work as an operative, and two, that she was heading south to join Mohan Fowler on his crusade against the international proliferation of the Myconid trade. In the morning, we slipped by a sentry construct that had been deployed to scan for survivors and headed down the eastern coast, happy to put this whole mess behind us and hoping to be reunited with additional Ilvigos in the Wakchu Barrens. Hours later, a picturesque walk along the beach was soured when Rumik and Sasha recognized a pair of moored merchant vessels belonging to a group of smugglers known as the Hatchlings.
Correct.
Not for long.
Back when Graven's friends and family were selling off belongings to keep the Chimera caged, the Hatchlings stiffed his brothers on a deal gone south, leaving them with neither money nor valuables in a time of need. What was perhaps originally intended to be an intimidation or a shakedown turned into an all-out brawl, as the captain rubbed us the wrong way at the wrong time and found himself a victim of Rumik's bestial claws.
Got hit.
Backed up by lightning and newfound barbarian strength, the fight didn't last long, with most of the hatchlings scattering to the north when the tides began to turn. We took our pick of the remaining goods and continued on to Vern, where we were pleased to find that one of the freed Goliaths, Skoze, had made his way out of the desert upon his release. Unfortunately, some other members of the tribe weren't so lucky, and they were captured by slavers heading west to the Stout Hill mining operations. Skoze needed help, but the boat he'd acquired to chase after the slavers would only seat 3, so Rumik and Sasha said a tearful goodbye and promised to return as soon as they were able. The party's numbers had dwindled down to 2, but we vowed to press on after a good night's rest, and in the waning hours of the night, we wondered. What was the lasting impact of the Shade Assembly being displaced from their hideout in Finlock Forest? Would Graven's obligations to Cliff Ironcloud take precedence over the search for his family? And was Hatchling Caddy's demise the first step toward restoring the Ilvigo's fearsome reputation? We find out now, on the campaign finale of A Peek Beneath the Veil. The morning in Vern is a bittersweet delight. The remarkable views of the vineyards rolling down toward the ocean, paired with a distinct lack of brotherly company. It felt wrong to watch them paddle away when you'd only just reconnected, but it's likely your paths will continue to cycle between crossing and diverging as you learn new information about where other friends and family members may have reappeared. Villagers about town are mildly standoffish, yet still polite. They're accustomed travelers of various kinds passing through or looking to sample their wine, but the two of you hardly have the look of sommeliers, and your bedraggled road weariness is worn on both your bodies and faces. As you exit from the inn where you spent the night, you find yourselves back in this sort of pseudo-town square, though calling it that is maybe giving it a little more credit than it deserves. And laying eyes again on the fountain that Skoze was dunking his head into, you feel a pang of guilt that you weren't able to make the journey with them toward the Stout Hills. Still, there's plenty to be done on your end, and if one of your kin proved capable of exiting the Barrens to the north, it stands to reason that another may have thought it better to head south, depending on where Kuuzni's banishment had spat them back out. So you have the opportunity to search and cover ground that wouldn't be retreading what your brothers had already seen. So you guys have just exited the inn. By the time, there was a little bit of activity when you guys arrived there the night before. By the time you kind of sleep and wake up, it's very sparse. I mean, the town, people get together here at these small sort of gatherings and establishments, but once the morning comes and people go to work, the town's very quiet. You see 1 or 2 people milling about the square. It's not like a bustling town center of sorts. So you're out here in the center of Vern.
Okay, buddy. So, what are we doing?
I can't help but feel like I should have gone with them to some degree, but I have faith. There is strength in the Ilvigos yet. I believe they will only grow their numbers.
Yeah, and you gave them all our diamonds, so they should be fine. That wasn't a dig.
Okay.
That'll be great.
They have more use of them now, I believe. Could you use them for magic?
No.
Plus, we got all this other stuff in the
Yeah,
cart.
no, we got super good stuff.
Hopefully we can get the cart down to Navika-Pura.
Yeah, you want to take it? Did you want to give some of the stuff to Mohan and Jillian on their quest?
As much as we can make it down there with. I I don't have a whole lot to offer, Franco. I don't have any more gentle void favors. I have a few magical items that I'm not using anymore.
He liked those, right? Like he would accept them in exchange for other stuff? He might
Perhaps.
Not even, like when did these relics come to his doorstep? Like, is he even going to have them?
Months ago.
So maybe we're just trading for information on these things?
I could not say.
What would they be, these items?
I don't know. Search my mind for relics that might have...
Nothing sort of that you can remember that's a very specific detail. From your brother's description and from their exchange with Caddy, they did mention that they were like heavy. Yeah, like they could be like...
Did I just make that up? Busts?
No, I think they mentioned that. So busts and, possibly like metalwork, but more sort of symbolic trinkets. It's probably some stuff that was inlaid with perhaps some gemstones and things. Otherwise, they might not have had that much value, to an outsider. So
this is shit. What is this crap?
I don't know this guy, and it's a piece of rock. So, so they might have been, carvings of Ilvigos of fame, warriors of renown that they sort of pawned basically because they were inlaid with certain valuable gemstones.
Family heirlooms, gem-encrusted baubles, and pieces of our culture. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Maybe Franco never told us that he has an affinity for the people of the mountains. He likes to adorn his house with their visages.
Oh yeah, I guess. Did you ever go into his house? I've only ever exchanged words with him at the door.
I didn't think you'd see the whole place, but I did step inside. It was a bit of a frenetic workshop from what I remember.
Oh, okay.
Lots of...
Guess we'll find out.
Or was the organized place?
It was so it was actually, you could tell that there was kind of a backroom workshop, but his
foyer.
Yes, his foyer was actually fairly sparse because it was obvious that he allows people in there to do business. He doesn't want people to see all his stuff. Like,
Got it.
he would like disappear into the back to get stuff and bring it back out.
But there is a chance that we need to offer him something just to get in the door. Never mind, start the bartering process.
Got it. Okay.
That would be starting the bartering process. You get what I mean.
Yeah, I get it.
Both of you give me perception checks.
Oh, dearest.
Ooh! 18.
My perception changed. Damn it, it's 8.
Oh no.
From the way that Orb is facing as you guys are having this conversation, Graven's sort of facing in the direction of where that fountain was, and Orb is sort of facing sort of directionally kind of to the southeast. And there's a guy that kind of wanders into the small sort of town square, a human man with kind of long hair down to his shoulders. And he looks like, at first, like he might be kind of looking for someone, like waiting to meet someone. He's got his arms crossed, and he kind of kicks the dirt a little bit. Like, it's very idle. His movements are very idle. They're not sort of with purpose. Mm-hmm. And he also seems rather bored. Like that he's been waiting for someone a long time, or that he's sort of maybe unconvinced that whoever he's waiting for might arrive. So you see him kind of just... And at one point, he kind of looks over and sees the two of you by the entrance to the inn over there.
I haven't noticed him, haven't you?
No, you're facing the other way. So Orb is sort of seeing this almost like kind of past your shoulder a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And he just kind of thinks a little bit. And he doesn't approach. He doesn't, nothing really registers right away, but he definitely sort of clocked your presence.
Side note, our little cart with our stuff is like right here with us.
Yeah, so there would have been a small hitching posts to hitch your stuff up to.
Go on.
Graven?
Yes.
Don't look. But there's a man, and he's like giving me an eye. Is that like something wrong with my hair or something?
Is it somebody who was perhaps waiting for a shipment, or his buddies?
Oh. Is
any insignias?
Yeah, is he wearing any garb that would be similar to what we saw the hatchlings wearing?
I'll put that with the other perception check. He's not that far away. No, he's not wearing any. Not that the other hatchlings were, but he's not like wearing the colors of green and white. The hatchlings didn't wear that on their clothes. But he also isn't wearing like sailor's attire or someone of the seafaring type. He seems like his outfit is very similar to other people that you've seen here in Vern.
Okay.
And our stuff is pretty nondescript. It's not like
It's not branded or anything.
branded.
The boxes
or,
are unbranded. As far
Yeah,
no,
horses aren't adorned with the colors.
Nope,
Okay.
no bunting on the horses or anything like that. And the boxes, like they were crates, so you opened it and then closed it. So it's
Right.
not like someone could like see what was in those crates as they were passing by, unless they opened it. He kind of makes brief eye contact. His eyes drift over and he makes eye contact. Then he kind of sort of drifts away again, but he doesn't like divert away. From, he's not like trying to not be seen. He just seems like he's not kind of sure.
If you're curious,
Yeah, I am.
okay.
What were you
Just
going to suggest?
Just remember that, I don't know, these are our goods, and we, I don't know, came north with them, and we're going back south again.
Yeah,
Something like that.
that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Excuse me. Hi.
Hey,
You keep looking over here.
I'll turn around at this point.
he takes a couple steps forward. Does the name Merithal Pastina mean anything to you?
Does it?
Does it?
Fuck,
That does sound familiar.
He sort of-
Is the
No?
the person here, right?
The person here.
Must have the wrong people.
Festina. I have heard the name. A tinkerer.
You see that wash over his face?
Shit.
Must have the wrong person. Sorry.
Well, you know, we've been here for quite some time. We could put you in the right direction.
Not looking for Merithal Pastina.
Oh. Well, you said a name, and usually when you say a name, it's the name of the person that you're looking for.
Merithal reached out to me, said that a friend of hers might be coming by.
Was that
Thanks anyway.
Alina? That wasn't who Erland
He starts
sent.
to walk away.
There was the fucking thing with the paper.
Oh, Erland? I'll say to him. Half-elf?
That doesn't mean anything to me.
Did Marith not send something here for Erland to pick up?
No.
Does that seem true?
Make an insight check.
Ah, I haven't written this name down.
Stina?
Oh, Orba. Insight. 5.
It does, and you also kind of have a hard time reading. He was kind of trying to put a couple pieces together, and he had a hard time sort of figuring it out. And
She oversees. We agreed to help her at one point.
Oh, we're so stupid.
Yes.
For the
other.
for the orc outcome.
a wave of like relief kind of washes over his face. He reaches into a back pocket and he takes out a little piece of cloth that's like wrapped into like a little bundle.
Were our actions? Were we able to help?
I don't know, but I've been waiting out here every fucking day,
Oh, wow.
growing very bored that someone might not appear. But Marithil said if someone came by and mentioned her claim specifically,
Yeah.
and it might be a Tiefling, might be a Goliath, might be a couple of half-elves, that I should give him this.
Whoa, that's a lot.
We
We must have been helpful.
We apologize for making you wait. It was not our intent.
It's okay.
It's been a long couple of days.
How many days would you say you were here?
I live here.
Oh,
So
Oh,
no trouble to be here, just
okay.
trouble to be wandering through town looking for people I don't know every day.
Gotcha.
yeah, that's annoying. Can we compensate you for your time?
No.
But Marithil, things are going well.
My understanding is that the Pastina claim is running smoothly.
Excellent.
Good. We were hoping it would. Well, give her our best and thank her for this.
Okay. He starts to walk away and he sort of like he was just tired of kind of walking through there every single day.
digital notes, baby.
Digital.
I literally
oh,
have.
God damn you.
I have. It
Oh,
says
goddamn.
M. Pastina. She offers up 8 ounces of blank.
This is a blank!
I don't know what it is, but it's something
Orc
good.
alcohol.
Oh, that was it.
So you unwrap the cloth and it's raw ore, so it's not like just pure, like a gemstone chunk. So it's basically a piece of stone that has these kind of greenish blue threaded kind of chunks of gemstone that are kind of sunken into it, and it's a metal, even though it looks sort of more like a valuable gemstone. It is a metal that would require refinement and sort of smelting into a useful object, but as I think you guys remembered from before, it has like magical repulsion properties, the ability to kind of repel magic.
And 8 ounces of it is like, that's
not bad.
That's not bad. That's like, could be worth a
The
lot.
chunk that you have looks like it might be 12 to 16 ounces of raw, and then
but
you would
refining
be
it, yeah.
refined.
Damn.
Okay. Good.
It just popped in there.
Yeah, no, I had completely forgotten. I knew there was people in Vern, but honestly, there's so many people. I get confused.
I know. We've met a lot of people in the last few months.
No.
No, we haven't met a lot of
No.
people.
Less than that. Less time.
Right.
Anyways.
Feels like months.
Maybe this is another thing Palomar could be interested in. I don't know.
Absolutely. That is definitely a
Yay.
bargaining chip.
Well, with that, should we take our cart and our brand new horses that definitely won't die on the way down? And head
Through the Barrens.
through the Barrens toward the Lodestone?
If it's not too much trouble to get up on top of the that tall thing that is called
The sail,
mast.
The mast?
Nope,
Mainsail.
the mainsail, because it was the one closer to the water, definitely.
We going with the wrong one.
You look
You get this spyglass? No, it looks exactly like his picture.
Oh my god.
All right, yes, south.
Okay. Let's go.
Let's go.
You get your horses. So you're taking the cart with you. It's attached to one horse. It's not like a big cart. So one of your horses is pulling the cart.
Would you like to sit on the
I'll s-
cart?
What?
Take a little ride on the cart.
We have 2 horses.
There's
Okay.
one horse with no cart and one with a cart.
I guess you can take that one. Do you want to drive the cart?
Sure.
Okay, I'll take the extra horse. Is the important
Get the cart in
things that
tow.
need
Is there any
discussion.
other business last minute business in Vern before you head further south? See people milling about. This place, again, from what you've heard, the majority of their business is 2 things. They have a very robust set of vineyards that go up and down the hillsides here. And then as another thing that you heard, I think earlier, is they have a lot of teams of hunters that go into those teeming lowlands. You heard about that a little bit, how guides take groups into the teeming lowlands, because there's very abundant both flora and fauna there, rarer creatures and plants that can be harvested there in the teeming lowlands.
You know what? Who else had a connection to Vern?
Who?
The 2 individuals that I turned to dust in heptactors.
Oh, yeah.
Under my breath, Barbara and Dane
Yeah.
were from here. I don't. Is it worth leaving a note somewhere to
But they're super dead? How do we explain
give some
that?
closure to any family members they might have here?
jeez.
Just to let them know not to go looking for them because they are lost.
I mean, at least their crew, I suppose. Weren't they talking about getting reinforcements? I believe they were. That was her option. She was either going to go back to Vern and get more people, or
Friends
just
and
go for
family.
the
I
thing.
don't know if there was a faction. It just was.
Okay.
This is where they are from.
We could try, yeah. I mean,
Just to leave with some semblance of closure for any of their family.
we could say we encountered them in the woods and fought off a bunch of cockatrices, but they fell.
Yeah. Lying is better than the truth, right?
Then saying that we murdered them?
We
What
didn't
Mean.
directly murder. There was an indirectness to it.
Sure, but I think any family members
They are
going to-
dead. Their remains will forever be.
This is not funny.
It's just a sign that says they are dead.
No, no. Like, to. Could you have some writing implement? We could leave it at the local
Sure.
tavern to
Okay, what do we? Okay, what do you want to write?
any friends and family of Dane and Barbara.
Okay.
we regret to inform you,
Yep.
they are gone. They are lost. They're gone.
They have passed.
They have passed.
Great. Gone sounds like they're lost.
Their faith was strong, but their bodies gave out. Their faith was strong, but they won't be coming home.
But they won't be coming home. Okay.
Condolences.
Condolences. That's very nice.
That's enough.
Okay.
Don't write that.
That's
Don't write
enough.
that's enough.
That's enough. Okay, I'll hand it to our tavern keeper, I suppose.
Yeah, maybe just say.
It's a small town. If we say whoever was close with Barbara and Dane,
Should we obscure ourselves in some way, or?
I'll just go in.
Okay.
I'm too tired for that.
Yes.
Okay. And I'll go to the tavern keeper.
Hadwin was the name of the tavern. Wait, are you going to the tavern or the inn that you just gave me? Those
Oh.
are two separate
Tavern.
Tavern? Sure, yeah.
Sure.
yeah.
That'd be
So
more local.
Elena, Olena, Olena, was the tavern keeper of the, and it's very quiet in there at this hour. You know, it picks up in the evenings, but for now it's just her and a couple other people sort of cleaning up the space and mopping the floors and things. And there's someone you hadn't met her yet, but you see Elena there at the bar.
Okay. Excuse me.
Yes.
Hi. I was hoping.
Welcome to town.
Oh, thank you. It's a beautiful place. We're actually about to depart, but we wanted to leave a note. Are you familiar with Barbara and Dane? I believe they reside here.
Yes, it's been a while since they've stopped through town.
Do they have family or close allies here?
Barbara has a sister here, yes.
Oh, if I left you a note, would you mind if you see the sister, just sending it to her?
Sure. Callista comes in here sometimes.
Callista.
Yes.
I know that name. She an herbalist?
No.
What does she do?
She makes wine.
She makes wine. Lots of names. Sorry. Okay. That sounds lovely. Can I give you like a gold piece or something to ensure that she sees it?
Not necessary.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
You put the note on the table.
Yeah.
She slides it.
Great.
Give me a perception check as you're leaving.
4. Wait.
4.
Perception. I think
5.
4.
3. Yeah.
4.
Okay. You guys
Oh,
head
you
out
bastard.
back outside. You have the carts hit up to the horse.
You said there was quartz in the carts.
Quartz. It's a cart horse. It's a
Yeah,
quartz.
quartz.
A course.
Of course. Let's get going.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. You hear the wheels of turning of the cart's a little creaky just because it was being kind of loaded up by the water there, so some of the moisture kind of got in, so it kind of creaks a little as it rides, but smoothly enough. It's not sort of dragging the horse down behind it. From Vern, you continue south along the road toward the Wakchu Barrens, a mostly flat and desolate area surrounded by jutting crags that encapsulate this arid basin on all sides. The most prominent of these crags are the ones that you can see as you're crossing over the bridge of the Free Run River, which is on your map there as well. Two towering protuberances that can be spotted from miles away on a clear day, most commonly referred to as the mast and the mainsail. The mast is narrower, with steeper sides and a thin peaked apex, where it looks like several small flags have been affixed, daring climbers marking their accomplishments upon reaching the top. Scaling the mainsail is hardly a breeze, but it's bulkier, and it has several rocky shelves at various altitudes where one could stop and rest during the ascent, so it's an easier climb than the mast. At its highest point, it mostly levels off into kind of a slightly sloped platform, where any unsecured objects that are kicked or dropped might kind of trickle down out toward the ocean, kind of gaining momentum as it rolled, because the mainsail is very close to the shores there, the kind of rocky cliffs that sprinkle down into the ocean. So as soon as you cross over the Free Run River Bridge, you start to feel a little bit of that heat. You can tell that the crags that around the perimeter of the Barrens really sort of keep all of that heat into the Barrens, and the elevation rises a little bit. So with the way that it's so flat, the sunlight just hits it, and the light from the sand and the light-colored rocks, it just kind of reflects all of this heat that's coming from all angles. It's not sort of a humid heat. It's kind of a very dry, sort of almost like raspy heat. Like breathing it in feels better than breathing in like nasty humid air, but it also feels like your nostrils and your lips immediately feel like they're kind of cracking and drying out as you continue to pass through the area. So you can see it. Coming from the north, the mainsail is up on your left. You see that kind of spiraling several ledges and platforms that get all the way to the top. You can't see the top, so you can't see if what you're looking for is there.
If I take out the spyglass, can I get an idea of, as it goes up, do I see movement or people or tents or...
Give me a perception check.
Good question.
13.
13. Two things that I would say you notice. One, neither of these geographical landmarks are so tall that it would require like sleeping. You wouldn't see tents there. It's not that big. It's not like a mountain that you would like take several days to ascend. So you don't see anything like that. You see several remnants of climbing past, like occasionally a rope that's been like anchored into the rock, kind of dangling free, a couple pitons here and there, some footholds that have been carved in. You see like an axe that had been sort of discarded off to the side, or somebody
axe?
dropped it. too difficult to tell from here.
Goodness.
I like to just pick those up wherever I go.
In addition, they're not too hard to spot. Sort of slowly circling are some carrion vulture-looking creatures that aren't sort of fixated on anything in particular, but just in the vicinity as well.
Shock vultures, maybe?
No, those have a kind. You've seen those, and they have a different appearance. Not shock vultures.
Okay.
More native to the Shocky Mountains.
No, of course. Well, I don't suppose we'll run into anybody up there. I don't think. Most of the time, people just climb it and declimb it.
Okay. Are we both
my-
going up? Sorry, go ahead.
Oh,
No,
I-
please.
I think-
No, you.
The issue would be, where do we leave the horses in the cart while we go up?
That was my question. Should I stay here in case
Can I
scavengers
go by
come?
myself?
I don't know. Do you think there's creatures up there?
At a good clip, an hour, 2 hours to get to the top?
So there's all those little kind of shelves that are sort of like jutting out in a number of different places. You could probably take a slower or a faster route. The slower route, you could go from shelf to shelf and be very secure and rarely have to like do a vertical climb. That would take a little longer, maybe like an hour and a half, to get up and down, hour and a half, 2 hours. Whereas you could do a quicker ascent you would still be going from shelf to shelf, but you'd be skipping some in between. So you're kind of taking a more direct route to the top.
Is there, as we're still, far enough away to kind of see the whole thing through a spyglass, the road goes in between them, the two tall structures. How long would it take to kind of get around? And there's not a path, so it'd be harder with the cart probably, to kind of go around to see if there's somewhere to obscure.
Like go around to the back side of the mainsail? Is that
As
what you're
in,
looking for?
beachside.
It wouldn't take that long, another 15 minutes to pull the cart over and around.
Perhaps we can take a route towards the water and see if there's somewhere we could obscure the cart, that it would take them going out of their way to find it there.
Sure. I also have the Wand of Major Image. Would it be a waste to create an illusion similar to the boats in the Shade Assembly where we covered the cart?
I think the wand itself is worth more than everything on that cart.
You think so? Those bolts looked really fancy.
A wand of major image.
Well, we only paid like 10 gold for it.
It's not about what you paid for it.
All those potions and poisons,
they'd
are
be
those
more?
in your bag, not on the cart?
No, most of them are on the cart.
Because
There's a couple.
all of those would definitely be
Oh,
worth
okay.
more. I mean, the wand's valuable, but all those
I just think the
poisons-
wand is really cool,
Okay,
right?
then I don't have to use it.
What would you do? You would make the cart and horse look like a nothing.
Like maybe like a really steep, intraversable part of the mainsail or something. I don't have to. I can use it elsewhere.
There just might be a part in between two rock structures that
That we can hide it.
hide, obscure.
Okay, let's keep an eye out as we ascend for any people approaching, I suppose.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
The
right.
investigation checks as you look for a spot off the course of You said not really a road here. There is kind of a road here. I mean, people do come from Vern to Navikapura. It's more common that they'll take a boat down the coast because it's typically safer, but people do come through. There's it's not paved by any means, but there's remnants of a more well-traveled course. You'll see areas that are less covered in sort of finer sand. They've clearly been kicked up and traveled over back and forth. Investigation?
Investigation? 19.
-1 with a natural 1. Wouldn't be peeked beneath the veil without it.
To me.
Wait, -1?
Oh, zero.
Oh, yeah. -2.
-2.
Listen, I'm stupid. I don't know how to do.
Got even stupider over the course.
Man.
As you circle around to the opposite side of the mainsail, you're surprised at how, from a distance, these sort of rock edifices look, substantial but not daunting. And then as you get close, you're continuing to circle around. It's that thing where it feels like it's barely moving as you continue to walk by it. It takes 15-20 minutes to circle kind of around all the way around to the other side. And there's still at this point another, few hundred feet before you even get close to the shores.
Yep.
But there's a number of other rocks here that are quite large, and some of them look like maybe pieces that have broken off of the mainsail at some point, like chunks of slanted rock that, if you look up, maybe there's a slight indentation that looks like it kind of shifted and came off. And it seems like because the mainsail's closer to the ocean, it takes the brunt of heavy ocean breezes, of bad weather, hurricanes that hit, so more rocky debris is scattered here, whereas the mast on the other side is sort of quite smooth and fine all the way around, as if it's sort of held up over time. So there's definitely spots that you could to obscure the cart behind them.
Okay.
Maybe we find a large enough chunk to provide some shade for the horses, and just as a way that it's not easily seen from either the road or the beach.
Okay.
I can't see anything.
Oh, yeah, I saw tons of stuff.
Oh, good,
Lots
good.
of good footholds.
I've just
and
been
stuff.
thinking about
Orba's
what I
leading
want.
you
Yeah.
over to those chunks of
All
it.
right, good.
Okay.
You can indeed. You can find one big enough that the horses aren't waiting in the hot sun, sort of baking there. Yeah, as soon as you lead them in there and you dismount, they take that cue and they sort of go down onto their lower themselves down to get it further into the shade there.
Should we leave anything behind? No, that's not.
Oh, I could cast alarm. If you want to give me 10 minutes, I could cast the alarm spell around the horses.
Sure, I'll look for the first few handholds and give
Okay.
a scout of the first few bits here.
Only
I'll
one
keep an eye
alarm
on you.
spell, though. Just the one.
Yes, just the one.
Okay, Orba's gonna cast a 20-foot cube alarm spell,
Great.
surrounding the horses.
And I believe you choose when you cast it whether it's a audible ping or in your brain ping.
Yeah, so if it makes a noise and I'm way up, would I still be able to hear it? Is the atmosphere so...
I think you. What does it say there? I feel like you.
if it's mental or audible.
you
So...
decide.
Oh, wait, within 60 feet. I'm sorry. All right, never mind. I'll do a ping.
Within 60 feet? I don't see that there. What does yours say?
The audible alarm produces the sound of a bell for 10 seconds within 60 feet. Doesn't say that on yours?
No. I'm gonna say it does. It makes a decent noise, but yeah, if you were on top of the mainsail, you might not hear that. So.
Okay. 1 mile for a mental ping, then.
Great. You would definitely be within 1 mile. Yeah, it's not bad.
That's good to know.
I'm gonna slot a few things back that I'd put in my bag back into just so I have a little room in my bag. I'm putting a few elixirs, 1 elixir, 1 poison, and the mouth of dregs into the cart, just so I have a little space. If,
Great.
I find a hand axe or something,
If you find something, cool.
I could carry it.
While Orba's doing that, while she's casting the spell, taking a
I'll-
closer look at
yeah,
the base of the mainsail.
Still where I can see her, but I wanted to get a few.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
It's a 18.
18. So it looks like there's a few kind of starting points that you could begin. First of all, as you've learned, these are popular sort of tests of strength and fortitude of challenges. Some people have put a little starting, there's a rope ladder in one spot. It's not very tall, but it goes up 20 feet to one of those, the first of those shelves that juts out from the mainsail. There's that one. There's another one where if you climbed up a little bit vertically, you could get to another shelf that kind of has a small ramp that curls up to the side. Basically, again, as you get a look at it, you're kind of choosing between slow route, fast route, just in terms of being able to chart your course. So slower route obviously being slower, but potentially a less difficult climb, whereas the faster route would be a more substantial climb, but quicker.
Do you, before we start out,
Yeah.
do you have the ability to make us not fall so fast again?
I do.
Okay, good.
I'm a smarty.
Just in case we literally are standing at the top of this thing and your alarm goes off,
Yeah.
we can...
I mean, I plan on doing that anyways. Like, I want to jump off this thing. This sounds fun.
Okay. We'd fall very slow the whole time, yes?
It's not very slow. You fall like 10 feet per second for 6 seconds. 60 feet per round. You fall 60 feet per round. You still fall pretty fast.
So 60 feet in 6 seconds, so 10 feet per second.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's pretty fast.
it's pretty fast.
Or I could wait to cast it until we're like halfway down, like a parachute. So you like fall really fast and then slow down a little bit.
30 feet before the ground, you cast it.
30
Ooh, it's cutting it close.
50 feet before the ground, you cast it, and then... Would we be hurt?
No, it guarantees. You're falling pretty quickly, but it
Oh.
guarantees that you
No
don't
fall.
take fall damage.
Okay, yes, let's try that. We'll keep
Wait
an
for
eye-
30 feet. And it like, waited
Start
too long.
casting. I just mean that let's keep an eye out for a direct jump down so that we're not landing halfway, because that's a straight. The feather fall is very straight.
Yeah, but if you land on the shelf, you can always just, like, it lasts for a while. You can always just run and jump
Oh,
again. Yeah.
all right, good.
Yeah, let's jump.
So
Yeah, does
I say we
the,
take our time then on the way up.
Yeah, also, you were saying it doesn't, like, start making you drop straight down. Like, if you jump off at an angle, it just slows your fall speed, so
Oh.
you'll coast outward.
All right, I'm looking forward to this. All right, I say we take the more
The tricky one?
no, the
Oh.
opposite.
Oh, okay. Go
Take our
ahead.
time.
Okay, let's take our time.
Be safe.
Yeah, I guess.
Would you like to try? We
No,
could start out.
No, I feel like a little weakling today, so no.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right, you begin the more circuitous route that takes you to a few of those shelves sort of more frequently. I need you guys to give me. We're gonna make 3 rolls here. It's gonna go athletics, survival, athletics.
My best qualities.
So give me your athletics first.
Dirty 20.
16.
Those are both passes. Give me a survival check.
That's good. Oh,
12.
19.
That's 1 failure. So you have 1 failure between the 2 of you now, because you both passed the first one. And 1
Okay.
failure there. Give me another round of athletics check.
Athletics.
Natural 20.
17.
Okay, those are both successes.
Okay.
So with only 1 failure between the 6 rolls,
Yes.
You
A
only
very
lose
careful-
20 HP.
a very carefully planned route results in a pretty clean climb. Occasionally on the way, some giant vultures that you saw before, that look a little bigger now than they did from a distance, they're circling the mainsail. You discern that they're not necessarily here for you. As you're climbing, at one point you kind of stop and you like get yourself ready maybe to have to defend yourself because they fly a little close, but then they just sort of fly and circle back, gliding a little further around the opposite side. On one of the higher shelves that you get to, you pull yourself up and you take a look at the next shelf up. And there's a number of vultures there. And it looks like they are working on a partially digested ogre carcass. There's like an ogre carcass lying flat. It's pretty, it doesn't
Full-on
look...
ogre.
Yes, like a full ogre. And they've picked away at it pretty good at this point. He's not, it doesn't look like he just died. But they seem to be, one will land, sort of tear a piece off, and then fly, and they kind of take turns kind of coming in and out, ripping pieces of the ogre off. And knowing that this is kind of a source of the vulture's fixation, you might be able to plot a course that keeps your distance. So you can do that, or if you needed to get a closer look at the ogres, you know, you need to scare them away or fight them, whatever you want to do. But
Are we avoiding these things?
I think it's more of a question we avoiding the ogre carcass. I think we can avoid them, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, so what?
I don't know, are you not interested in what the ogre maybe was doing here, or has?
I mean, I'm always curious. You want...
Let's keep climbing. Well, Are we on the same platform as the ogre right now?
No. You pulled yourself up to a platform, and then, like, what would be the next shelf up is where the ogre is. So to circumvent it, you're probably, like, climbing kind of straight up to just kind of bypass that one.
If I used a spyglass, could I get a good look at the ogre?
Give me a perception check. It is up a little bit, like, elevation-wise, so it's a little tougher to see. 11, yeah, not really. It seems like even if it, like, ogres have clothes and use tools, they're not... But if it had anything on it, it's been torn apart to the point where it'd be difficult to see what kind of belongings it had on it.
Would ogres, I don't know, do they recreationally climb?
Not to your knowledge, not just like for fun.
Yeah.
No. They might climb if there was a purpose to it, but.
So curious.
Do you think it followed something up here?
Maybe, or I mean. I've never met an ogre. Would he be hired to hit a lodestone? No?
I don't know about that.
It would be very hard to explain that task to an ogre.
Does it seem like if we did that straight up climb, we could get then a good look down at him?
Yes, sure.
Go straight up here and take a look down.
Okay, that's a good plan.
Give me stealth checks with advantage as you because of the low failures in the previous one, in your ability to circumvent the vultures here.
19?
Same! Also 19!
What is we're gonna have our come up.
So you feel fortunate that you sort of caught on to what exactly was happening ahead of time. And as the vultures, again, they go for the easiest prey. They see you live targets kind of moving around a couple times. They'll kind of turn their heads toward you and keep flying. They're happy to keep picking. As long as there's meat to be picked from that carcass, they're happy to make that their primary focus. So you slowly kind of work your way up a couple times. You check over your shoulder, make sure there's no vultures kind of on your tail. You keep slowly moving up. Finally, you get up to, you've basically kind of skipped over a couple of these shelves. You pull yourself kind of up onto it. And now you can be looking down. It's a little easier of a look. Go ahead and take the spyglass out and maybe make that a look.
We'll get advantage on this one, maybe?
No, but the difficulty's lower.
Not low enough.
5.
By the time you get up here and look down, there's just like 5 or 6 vultures all kind of with their heads kind of pecking at it. It's hard to even see it. It just looks like a mass of black wings and dust and clouds.
And what about walking over slowly, maybe coming back from the edge? Are we at a place where we could get where we're right above it to see if there's any evidence of a fall or something that was right above
there
him?
isn't another shelf, I'm calling them, directly above it, but if you kind of skirt the edge a little bit, you can get pretty close. It's probably still another 15 feet off to the side. Like there's no platform where it's like, oh, it fell into the thing below.
But maybe the top.
Maybe the top.
Okay.
Yes, that's possible.
I say we just keep going and maybe take a look on the way back down.
If you want to, I have Mage Hand. Are we within 30 feet of this thing?
You would have to climb over a little bit. You could kind of, if you kind of side climbed, you could be above it and cast, but you'd have to climb a little bit and be over it.
Maybe it's not worth it.
Keep going up for now.
Okay.
Okay. Give me athletics checks with advantage.
Double 8 for a 7.
23.
Okay. At one point, you see Orba lose her footing a little bit. You grab her kind of by the back of her collar there. Keep her steady. Get her back up on this kind of a safe handhold there. And you're getting pretty close to the top at this point. You've gone to another shelf, one more, and now you're getting pretty close. Give me perception checks, both of you.
12.
4.
Okay. Well.
It's all right, Ben.
At that time that Graven grabbed Orba, he kind of pulled her, and you put her in front to make sure that if she fell again, you could grab her. So she's the first one to get kind of closer to the top here, now that Orba's leading the way, but barely, just by a couple feet. And as your head is kind of getting, you're not like right at the edge of it, but you start to hear what sounds like rocks being banged together.
Okay.
And it's like echoing out a little. Before it was hard to hear because there was a lot of vulture kind of, but now you can hear a little bit of that stone on stone sound coming from up above.
And so these lodestones are
Stones.
are stones. The one that we saw in the Ebwoods was not of this kind of texture, right? Like of the mainsail kind of texture. Those are 2 different kind of minerals. Or
if this one looks the same as that one did, you would recognize it immediately. It doesn't look like the surrounding stone. Yes.
Got it.
It looks
And
very different.
It's weird. These magical stones, they don't sound any different than like the quality of just like a normal stone.
Not that you could tell. Yeah, they seem the texture was of regular stone.
Okay.
But they looked very different. You would be able to tell if you saw it.
Graven, do you hear?
I hear vultures.
Well, no, listen. Stop. Listen harder.
With her pointing it out, you're able to.
Okay, so somebody's up there.
Is that another ogre just banging rocks together?
Does that sound like something ogres do?
If they, I don't know, followed somebody up here, or maybe the lodestone is standing out to them as special, or they're drawn to it in some way.
Okay.
Just keep an eye out for ogres.
Did you bring your totem?
Yeah, I have everything on me.
Okay, so maybe when we
Oh, shit.
maybe when we get to the top, either prepare for a battle or
All right.
Okay.
Push something off if we need to.
Yeah.
That'd be scary. But you can featherfall just me, right? 2 people go over the edge, you could kind of choose me.
Yeah.
It's not an AoE. It's a choose. Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Just slow.
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
That would be pretty sweet.
That would be really cool.
Well,
Okay.
Mid-air pugilism.
Yeah.
Do you mind going first then, if it's gonna attack somebody?
Can I very slowly to
You can. Give me a stealth check.
Oh boy.
16.
Like them double digits.
As you crest the peak of the mainsail, you're very pleased to find that there's a boulder some distance away of a dull striped browns and blacks like a banded agate, very similar to the one that you found in the Hanas Theater in the Ebwood's Crater. Unfortunately, a pair of ogres seem to be fixated on the lodestone, and you remember from your past encounter with some ogres in the Ropra Mountains, shiny things are a fixation to them, and in the heat of the daylight, the banded agate of the lodestone has a nice shimmering sheen to it, and what they're doing is they have another sort of mundane rock, and they're trying to break pieces off of the lodestone so they can take these shiny. One of them, they already have one in their hand, like he sort of pockets that piece of the. So they're banging other stones against the lodestone here in an attempt to break it down and take these, polished pieces of the lodestone.
Okay. From when we whacked the stone last time, there was a noise. There was like a distinct kind of ringing, gonging,
Yes.
kind of special noise that you probably wouldn't get by just hitting a other rock.
Yes, probably not.
Okay.
The implication kind of from Ichabus being you needed to hit it with like a nice big flat blunt object to kind of get the reverberation necessary to activate the lodestone. So just like smacking something against it isn't gonna just accidentally activate it. It's unlikely to. It's very unlikely to do that.
Okay. And they speak giant.
They do.
And I spoke to them last time. All right, it's time to get my giant on.
Rainbow blue.
Yeah, it's exactly. Okay. I can see them up there. And
Yeah,
Orba's down
Orba
there
can poke her
behind me.
head up
Yeah.
too. I mean, they're a little bit. I'm trying to picture it, like maybe 50 feet away from you as you poke your head up there.
You see?
Yeah.
I think I can get them distracted enough or convince them that it would be a worthwhile endeavor to let me hit it with a hammer, but I don't think that they're gonna let up. They might destroy it. How can I convince them that I might have?
I don't have anything to give them. I gave away all of my shiny stuff already. Everything we see just wants shiny stuff. Between the frogs and the other ogres, lost all my shiny shit.
I worry that it's the difference between killing them and convincing them that this rock is so special that they should leave it alone.
You can certainly try to convince them of that, but they don't strike me as the type to appreciate that kind of thing.
I've got
Throw your monitors on for me as well, so you can get a look at what you're looking at here.
some gold and silver dust.
Are they going to like dust?
It's very shiny. Maybe I could somehow get them fighting amongst each other for
Oh, turn them on each other.
turn them on each other for these
Yeah.
item.
So, as you guys can see here, you and Orba are
my
off.
gosh,
You're a little.
look at this!
You're a little further away than I initially said. I think you're more like 70 feet away or something. Yeah, like 75 feet away from them.
Okay.
So you're looking up at this lip here, and then 2 ogres are smacking rocks against this load. So it's not really glowing, but I put it there so you could see it better. So you're at the peak of the mainsail here. You're over here.
I mean, if you want to try to sick them on each other, that's fine.
Maybe I could. I've got
And
one.
the more you guys talk,
Yep.
Or we can kill them.
All right, I'm gonna try. Here we
Okay,
go.
good luck.
I'm gonna start slowly making my way over there.
Okay.
I've got the metal maul, like, you know, not wielding it, but it's like my most closest readily
Sure.
available
Use
weapon. And I've also got my I've got a vial of gold dust, and so powdered gold and powdered silver, one of each.
okay.
2 vials.
Okay. So they're smacking. You can probably get within, because the cracking noise is pretty loud, you're able to get within 50, 40, how close do you want to get? I mean, they would probably notice at a certain point, but
I mean, right now I'm probably 100, so like
you're like 75 at the moment, I think we
75,
said.
so
Yeah.
I'll probably get to like 50 or 40.
Okay. It's like, right, yeah, that's like 55 feet away.
And is Graven within 30 of me?
Sorry, let me bring it back.
okay, sorry.
This. He is with 20 less than 25 feet away at the moment.
Here I go.
Good luck.
And I'll kind of very casually walk towards them and...
And at one point, finally, he lifts up the rock to hit it again.
Friends! Proposition for you. I see that you are enjoying this fantastic rock. I have some special info about it, if you care to listen.
I take the rock.
I have something better for you here.
Puts the kind of rock down your shoulder.
Better than rock.
Well, you know that silver is very... What's the word? Important and valuable. That's the word.
Make a persuasion check.
Persuasion? Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Most valuable of all minerals. Except for maybe gold.
Silver.
Yes, silver, second most valuable, second only to gold. But I've got some silver here for both of you.
The second one, not the one that you're talking to directly, kind of takes a step towards his friend. Give me a perception check.
What's he gonna whisper?
Perception. 10.
10. He goes into whisper to his friend there, and he's speaking in giant. Mm-hmm. He's not a very good whisperer.
Yeah.
Aw.
Take it and toss him.
And the other,
Damn it.
and you see him like, and then he turns to you with a smile, and then like suppresses it.
All right.
Oh
I'll okay, where's the sun right now?
Where's this? Like the sun shining?
Yep.
So it would have risen in the east, and it's still in the earlier part of the day. So like in this direction, like behind you guys, where you were climbing, and it's behind you.
Okay.
Okay.
So if you're standing at the edge, you're looking into the sun.
Like they're walking into the sun, kind of. I mean, it's up in the
Great,
sky. But
perfect. I'm gonna go towards the stairs in southwest. He's coming to one of them's coming towards me.
yeah, one of them's walking towards you.
I'm gonna look back at Orba and give her like a. And I'm showing this thing, and I'm like, come, you must look at it in the light best.
I can see it.
But the way that it shines in the sun is the best. And I'm gonna start walking kind of past the stairs towards the sun, towards the east.
Like around this little rock here.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And
he
is there-
follows you a little bit there.
If you zoom out, is there... Oh, there's so much edge down there.
There's some edge there off to the. I mean, like I said, there's lots of these little shelves all around the
Yeah.
kind of exterior of
Yeah.
the mainsail.
All right, yep,
And his
here I
friend kinda
come.
takes a few steps further.
And I'm
You're
going...
gonna continue down like this way.
Yep, I'm waiting for him to come.
Takes lumbering steps down that kind of set of stairs.
And I'm gonna like... knowing that he's still got some distance, I'm gonna like turn my back to him and like, oh, and as though looking at it in this manner is very.
Perception check.
Oh my god.
Here we go.
10.
10. He sees, he's like a little taken aback by your reaction for a moment, and it does sparkle a little bit as it catches the light as you're kind of holding it over the edge there.
And now I'm kind of obscuring it, not behind me, but like in a way that he would have to come over to look at it.
He does take a couple, he starts to slow a little bit as he gets a little closer to the edge, and you actually clock him look over in the direction of where over the cliff the other ogre would be, almost as if he's...
Okay.
You get the sense that they were traveling together, and now he's a little wary of the edge because his buddy went and took a tumble off the edge of the cliff there. So he continues to walk, but he's kind of taking it slow.
The most brilliant it is when you look through it to the sun. And I'm like holding it out near the edge here.
All right. How close to the edge do you want to get?
Oh my god.
All right. I am. Is that little rock kind of right behind me? That's a trip-onable rock right there.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm gonna position myself just to the other side of it and almost hold it as though he would.
Wanders a little bit closer.
So a tiny bit northeast of there.
No, like this way.
A little more north.
Like this way.
Yeah, like right there.
Okay.
So, and I'm holding it as though he would have to kind of go past me. You know, I'm like, look through it to the sun.
He gets probably there, and now he's getting a little worried by the edge, and he sticks out like a big hand. Get it.
You must look at it.
Through
it to the sun.
I see it.
And I'm gonna as though I'm like very carefully. How close is he to the edge right now?
At the closest point, 10 feet. Behind you, 15 feet.
A contested athletics in a shove, you only shove somebody 5 feet. Is that the
I
case?
believe the shove is 5 feet, yes, or prone, yep. Without any kind of magical aid or anything like that.
I'm gonna wait, see if he'll take one more step towards it here. I'm gonna like hold it out.
Scoots, probably he's like within melee range almost at this point. And you're holding it like behind you a little bit?
Kind of to the side, yeah, to behind me to the side here.
Okay.
Yeah.
He gets that close.
Go on and take it. You have to look through the sun. And I'm waiting for him to reach out, and as soon as he touches it...
Okay, he's gonna reach out. As he starts to reach out, you hear behind him the other one. Tearful!
Does he look back? He doesn't look back.
He doesn't look back.
Okay.
He reaches out. Are you holding it within reach of him?
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
he can reach it.
He reaches out and he touches it.
As soon as he touches it, I'm slipping to the side and trying to trip him over that rock.
Okay, give me an athletics
Oh
check.
my god.
Oh, God. Athletics.
14.
21.
Oh my
21.
goodness.
Okay, so he reaches for it and you just pull it slightly out of his reach so that he's just off balance. You watch his weight kind of shift his center of gravity over his hips there, and you use that to kind of pull the arm and pull him around. He's not close enough to the edge to fully shove him off. What you can do, he gets pulled and trips, so he's prone and by the edge there.
Okay.
And the other one sort of put, no, said careful. And they start to rumble toward you. I need you guys to make initiative rolls.
Okay.
So he is tripped there and prone, but I do need you guys to make initiative.
You got what I meant with the wink,
I
right?
did. You're just doing the same thing.
Yep.
You love doing
Oh, I
this.
did the same thing. You're right.
You love this shit. You live for it.
I love shiny shit.
Oh no.
No.
Okay.
This is bad.
All right. There's only a couple of us. So
14.
14,
Oh.
11.
7.
Okay. The ogres are up first then.
I don't get any kind of barbarian special initiative shit. Damn it.
Okay. Because he tripped and you were sort of ready to do a second thing.
Yeah.
What were you trying to do as
Another shot, like.
Try to push him off the edge there?
Yeah.
Okay. You can give me one more contested athletics check here. This is, as you look over the edge, again, this isn't gonna
It's not gonna
make
yeah.
him go.
He
It'll
might
make him drop down
bonk,
here.
yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Athletics.
Yep.
17.
That'll do it. 14.
God.
So he's gonna, as soon as he goes down, Graven just with his foot just shoves, and he just rolls.
Hi, buddy.
So he's gonna go ahead and roll me 2d6 there, because he's gonna take that much bludgeoning damage from the fall.
2d6. 8.
8. Oh, health counters are back.
Yay!
Nice. We're in
Skills
business.
fire mods.
Okay. All right. So the ogres are first in the initiative chart here.
Yep.
Okay. So the first thing is his buddy comes lumbering toward you there, and he's gonna move 30 feet. And as he was watching all this take place, he had a mundane stone in one hand and a piece of the lodestone in the other hand, and he throws both of those rocks at you. by
Oh,
the
he
edge.
cares about his buddy.
Yeah.
Oh no.
One of those definitely miss. 5 to hit,
Miss.
and then 19 to hit.
that will hit.
Ooh.
I'm not raging yet. It's no fun. I'd rather be raging. Should have raged.
You're new at this. It's okay.
Yeah, if you had raged actually prior even to the shove, I think don't you get advantage on like strength-based checks?
Probably.
Passed him anyway.
Yeah, did pretty good.
You're learning.
Okay.
All right, so
rolling for damage.
yes.
Sorry.
No, you don't have to.
You take 9 bludgeoning damage. As the mundane rock was the one that missed you and just goes off the side, and you try to duck the lodestone and get clocked with it. And that one it's not brittle. It has a nice kind of heft to it, and it really gives you a smack there, and then it falls in kind of a heavy thud by your feet. So there's a piece of lodestone by your feet.
Nice.
And then he is going to use a bonus action that he can move up towards a
Oh, God.
hostile target.
Oh, he's got that thing.
Yep.
What's that called? Aggressive?
Yes, but he's already used his attack action, but he's going to use that to run all the way up. And as he's running up to you, he looks like he's taking out his weapon, which looks like kind of a crude sword that he's unslinging from his back there. So after he tosses the rocks. Okay, the other one, you hear him sort of pick himself up off the ground, and then he is going to attempt to climb here. Easily gets so he's not going to make it all the way up because that took half movement and then difficult terrain to climb. So that's about where he gets to. As you look back, you just see a big ogre hand grab the top part of the rock there.
All right.
Okay, that's them.
Okay, next is Orba.
She's going to. Oh, I should be doing this. Hold on. Oh no, where is it? This one. Okay.
Orba is going to try to cast slow on both of these guys.
They're definitely within. It's a pretty big radius.
It's like a 40-foot cube.
Oh yeah, definitely. Okay, what kind of save?
So go ahead and make wisdom save for me.
Wisdom save.
Yeah, they dummies.
Okay. 11.
Fail.
And then 14.
Fail.
Fails. Okay.
Oh, that's
Both.
awesome.
They're so slow.
And the one that's kind of moving to attack Graven, he sees his friend's hand come over the side. I told you.
Oh, God.
Okay.
All right.
Do
So
they
yeah.
have disadvantage on like?
So they
any
have
kind
-2 to AC and Dex saves.
Okay.
Can't take reactions. They can either use an action or a bonus action, not both. And then speed is halved.
of- Wow.
And I think when they make an attack, they can only make one. Is that correct? That's also
Yeah,
correct?
no multi attacks.
Yeah, so they can only do one attack if they take the attack action.
Yes. And then I think you get to do the save every round, right?
Yeah, at the end of their turn.
Okay.
They get to,
No reactions. That's beautiful.
Yes.
movement, anything else? Successfully casted slow.
How far am I from the action right now?
From the closest one, 35 feet.
Okay, could I actually try to get a little high ground here and just go up
Sure,
to where
give me an athletics check. Not a terribly difficult climb. It's just a blip here.
it's a 2?
That'll not do it. Right where Graven had climbed already,
rock
just the
walls
earth was loosened a little bit.
Was that all my movement, or?
You can try one more time.
I'll try one more time.
Okay.
11.
Okay, that'll do it. You've already seen him get up there, so you could probably maybe another 5 feet of movement, but otherwise you're just kind of up a little higher.
That's all right. I'll stay there.
Okay.
And Graven, they're slower than they are naturally.
You can tell.
Yes.
All right.
Okay. Graven, I think that takes us to you.
I will rage.
Okay.
Here we go.
Feeling Boraj's energy coursing through him.
And I'm gonna go for my double attack here.
Okay. So minus
so-
2 AC on the.
Yeah. So the first attack is a 18 to hit.
That will hit.
That is gonna be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 bludgeoning.
Nice.
Yep.
And then the second attack will be a 10 to hit.
With the minus 2, that will hit.
And I'll take another 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 bludgeoning.
Okay. Each time you hit him with the totem, the reactions are all delayed, so. And then you hit him with the other one.
Now I know that his movement is shorter and he can't react.
Yep.
So I'm
Aware
gonna
of the effects.
run 30 feet
Where you headed?
away from Orba. Southwest.
Okay.
What does 30 feet in that direction look like?
Like up to that other rock, kind of?
Yeah.
Up to the stone here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's try that.
Okay.
That's your turn?
Yeah.
All right, it's the boys.
All right, the ogres again. As the one is climbing up the edge of the cliff there, he pulls his head up the top and they make eye contact for the first time since sort of getting tumbled off the edge. Toss! Toss! They sort of say that back and forth. Toss him! And they start to run. How much movement is it reduced by? Is it half? It's half movement?
Yeah.
Okay, 15 feet here.
And no bonus actions or anything.
no bonus
is,
actions.
Is aggressive? Is that?
That is a bonus action.
Okay.
This guy's gonna use the remainder of his movement to get up here. So this guy's gonna dash to Graven, but this one is going to, he gets up to the top there, and with that piece of lodestone that's still on the ground, he picks it up,
No!
hurls it at Orba there.
How far is he from me?
I think this might be with disadvantage. Ooh, 40?
They can
Improvise
improvise weapon. They can throw
40
farther than
I believe he has a stone throw attack that is not an improvised.
Please don't get
no.
Please don't get bodied by this first.
What do I have? Do I have things?
Probably a shield, don't you?
Shield.
Okay.
I know some. Yeah, I can't find it. He has like an actual attack that's a stone
Okay,
throw.
so it's not.
Yeah,
it's not.
I think it's still. I'm trying to find it here. I can't find it. I think it might still be disadvantaged though.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
At
because
40 something?
Yeah, I think that's still outside of its regular range. I think we're gonna. I can't find the exact one. So he's gonna be with disadvantage, but
Yay.
he's going to huck a boulder at you, huck a stone. Okay. 13 to hit.
Shield. Shield. Fuck this.
You see the rock coming towards you, and you put up the arcane shield, and as the piece of lodestone hits it, it just like shatters into a number of
Nice.
pieces there. And as the shield goes up, he seems like he thought it was gonna hit you, and then, oh no, toss, and he starts throwing his hands
shit.
out toward you.
How long does slow last?
And I mean,
Well,
they have to
they have to
save.
save.
All right.
Oh shit!
We're doing the one by Graven first.
Okay.
5 wisdom, and the one looking at Orba. That's really gonna do it. 17. Okay, that's the end of his turn though.
Okay.
So.
Uh-oh.
All right, Orba, you're up.
Oh, shit. Okay.
If I recognize that he kind of broke
You
it
can
there,
definitely tell. Like the motions just turn back to normal.
I can distract the one that broke.
Okay. Distract the one that broke. Oh.
Broke
got
your
it.
your spell.
Got it.
Okay, so Orba, how far away is this guy from me?
I think we said it was like 40 from the throw. Even less than that. 35.
Okay, and then where's Graven? He's on the outside there.
Yep.
Are the two ogres within 40 feet of each other?
Definitely, yeah. 5 feet of each other.
Toss.
Fireball.
Oh, I didn't.
I haven't cast Fireball in so long.
I was thinking
may
Thunder
do so.
Wave.
One
that.
makes a regular, and the other guy subtracts 2 from his dexterity saving throws. The slowed
I
one.
can't remember. Yes, he
Okay,
subtracts
so the
2.
one near Graven has -2 to his dexterity saving throw.
Yeah, so obviously I'm not getting Graven in the Fireball.
Sure, yeah, that's easy enough. 11 on the one that had the
Fails.
last, and then the one that was unslowed, that's also gonna fail. 10.
Boom, failed.
Okay.
All right, 86.
Oh, do you need any?
Can I get 2?
Just 2? Okay.
No! He watches the fireball go by him, and he sort of, and then it
Count
like
those
washes
ones.
over
Put
the
those
back of
to
his
the side.
neck
Make sure you
there.
don't knock any of those around.
Okay. Ooh, baby
Oh
dog.
my god.
All right, 6, 12. I rolled 3 6s. 6, 12, 18, 24, 25, 26, 7, 32, 34 fire damage.
34, so that takes this guy up to 42.
Nice.
And what was it? Sorry, 30, 34? Is that what we said?
No, like 42. Hold on.
No.
What? What did
This guy just went up to 42.
I think it was 34.
Okay, hold on. I
Okay.
didn't touch anything.
Okay,
So
go ahead.
it's 18, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 34.
34, right, yeah. So this one's up to...
No.
What?
18 plus 10 is 28. Oh, 29.
Do we...
Dude, it's
Do we
4,
have a dice
4 times 6 is
discrepancy?
24.
I'm sorry.
God fucking damn it.
We got there.
Oh my god. There you go.
Great,
My
a
dice.
giant burst of flame. Both of them are not facing the area of impact of the fireball, so they get like burned from the back forward.
gross.
You watch like steam rise off their ears and little bits of charred ear. They sort of, and the one that's up by Graven, kind of wandering up with the sword.
Oh no.
He looks pretty beaten up.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Orb, any movement or anything?
Yes, please. I'm going to run in the direction of the lodestone. What? 30. Okay.
30 feet would take
Let's
it
get
there.
me away from the edge at the end of my turn, just in case.
Where would you like to go?
Fuck, cause he's gonna charge me. What's just northwest there? Like there's a little tip here, northwest.
Yeah, there's like a sort of a part of the rock that goes out that way.
Okay, I think I'm in kiting mode.
Get-
So
I'll,
there I
if
go.
you can reach the one close to me, I'm taking on the other one.
No! I'm gonna go 30 feet northwest.
Like,
Oh,
that one?
Yeah.
You already used a spell. Never mind. Sorry.
What do you want me to do, dude?
I want you to finish off the hurt one.
I just cast fireball.
I know, you
bro.
did very well.
Okay, that's my turn.
Okay.
Graven gives you a good.
Great.
Graven, you're up.
All right, I'm gonna run past this guy.
Okay.
And get west of the other guy. Does 30 feet get me?
Like
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Sweet. And I'm gonna take my attack.
As you're running by that first one, he sort of takes a slow swing, and Graven's already like 10 feet away by the time he gets around.
And I'm going for my. Oh, do I want to be crazy? Their
What
AC's.
do you got?
I don't whether I reckless attack or not.
Oh.
Yeah, fuck it. We're reckless attacking to get some advantage. So first attack is a 21.
Definitely, yeah.
Nice.
That will be.
Oh no.
It's okay. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 bludgeoning.
And that's with the bonus damage from rage.
Yep.
So,
It sure is.
okay.
Too
I
bad.
had 2 ones. And then.
Toss.
So he is now under the effects of the ancestral protectors. So he has, if he tries to attack anybody but me, he'll have this disadvantage.
Great, little mini taunt there.
Yeah.
It's like it takes the form of like kind of
Yeah.
spirits around.
Spectral warriors appear when I, yeah. You stay away from me and my friend. With advantage, 9 to hit.
That will miss.
Unbelievable.
Ooh, if he was
did
still
that exact
slowed, that
thing
would have
last
hit.
episode.
Thank you for remembering.
Sorry.
So you miss with the second attack.
Damn it! How is this possible? All right. I haven't done a bonus action yet. Bee boo boo bee. I don't think I have anything that's not. Sorry. I've taken 9 damage. I'm okay for now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, it's the boys.
As they turn their attention to Graven here, with his arms sort of with bulbous, bloated fingers reaching out, toss, toss, give him the toss, and he reaches for Graven. And give me a.
Now I have because I'm raging. I have advantage on strength saving, right? Or strength.
I think it's strength-based checks.
Strength-based check.
Or a
advantage
bonus?
on strength checks and strength saving throws.
This is a contested athletics check, so that is a
Let's go.
Don't do what I did last time.
16.
14.
14. Grabs Graven as he's in there. Toss, toss, give him the toss. And he pulls you closer to the edge there.
With That's not funny. That's not funny.
Oh my god.
Pulls Graven to the edge.
Oh shit.
And he is. He can't shove you on this turn because he's grabbed you, so you have to kind of. He's gonna kind of pull you, and he's got you like dangling over the edge. Like your feet start to lose the rock.
So am I grappled?
You are grappled, yes.
Okay.
And you can look down and see it's not
Yeah,
abyss.
it's not the hole.
Yep.
Yeah.
But he's
The whole
got you
hog.
over the edge there, holding you out over the edge.
Oh yeah, the reckless attack that I did make it so that attacks on me have advantage.
Yep.
But that didn't affect.
No, that wasn't with advantage. Yep. And then as he has you dangling over the edge there, his friend is going to move a little bit, and he is still slowed, so he can only make one attack, but he's going to reach down and scoop up a rock and throw it at
I
Graven.
think it has to be melee. But attack rolls against you have advantage until your next turn.
So this is an attack roll.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
That is a 19, so 23 to hit.
It'll hit.
You take another clonk.
Oh my god.
You take a 8 bludgeoning damage. 8 bludgeoning damage. Yep.
I'll use my reaction to Stone's Endurance that
Okay.
one.
It is also halved, remember,
Oh,
already
yeah.
from the
Yeah,
rage
yeah.
bludgeoning damage.
Okay, so 8 goes to 4.
4, yep.
I'll take the 4.
So as your feet are dangling, you get bopped with the rock. And he looks like he's trying to, the one that has you is trying to like lean over as far as possible to get you to kind of fall as far as possible down the edge there. He's got pretty long arms.
Yep.
Like he looks like he could kind of drop you right there, which
Yeah.
if you, with your footing, you might kind of continue to fall. So that's what's happening at the moment.
Is there any kind of lose the grapple attempt that puts me back on the same footing as him, or am I
would say if you can like break the grapple, you could make a not terribly difficult attempt to like catch the rock right there.
okay?
But you wouldn't be able to just step onto solid ground there. And then a wisdom save for the slowed one, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Yep, still slowed.
Okay.
8.
Yay, failed. Okay.
Who's next?
It's me.
All right.
How far away am I from everything? From Graven.
65-ish, 60-ish. Yeah, all about 60, 65.
Okay. I am not liking this situation.
Under control.
Shut up!
You get him.
Oh, shut up, dummy! I'm casting Fireball again.
Oh my god!
These arms.
Yeah, obviously, so like right on the border, so Graven's not affected.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely. It's what, a 30 foot?
It's a 20-foot radius.
Yeah, I mean, you can do it right there.
I see her amping that up. I'm like steeling myself to like get ready to get let go and
Okay.
like.
Close your eyes, Graven!
Okay, so this one's still slowed, so we'll do the slowed one first. Who has -2 to his dexterity?
He's gonna get blown.
11.
Fails.
He's fucked.
Give me your dice.
And natural 20 on
Oh,
the other.
Okay, so
boo.
he'll
Still
take
takes
half.
half. Yeah.
Ooh, I say. You need 8? Yeah, 4.
Total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay.
Not as good.
2, 4,
Toss,
6, 8,
toss.
12,
Give him the toss.
13, 14, 15, 16, 22 fire damage.
Give him the.
Sorry.
This guy just disintegrates there.
See how your friend
And what was this? 22?
24.
24, so this one
12.
takes 12.
See how your friend falls to us.
6, 11.
You will
Feels
suffer
the
the
heat
same
on his back
fate.
as he has Graven. He kind of looks over his shoulder.
No! Put me back, or you will suffer the same. Toss!
Oh no.
Shit.
Okay.
I'm gonna get close. Yeah, like 30. Like yeah.
How far do you want to go?
25 gets me how close to Graven there?
40, 45 feet?
Okay. And what if he fell down that lip? Would I be able to see him at all? No.
Not once he disappears over the lip there.
Okay, then can I go another 5 feet northeast, like along that ridge?
Like along here?
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay, cool. That's
I'll
my
be
turn.
fine.
Yeah, you can kind of see a little bit.
Okay,
Not
Graven.
a bad drop.
All right.
Lose your footing, dude.
I think I have to try to break the grapple. All right. That is a attack. No, that is a
Contested.
a contested
Yeah.
strength. I couldn't. To keep my rage, I'd have to attack though.
Or take damage, I think it is.
Oh, yeah.
It's either
So
attack
if-
or take damage.
Does it have to be from a? You haven't attacked a constitution or taken damage, so it doesn't say anything about how I get the damage.
Yep.
So if I fall and take damage, that would count.
I
All right.
assume-
I'm gonna try to
double
break
check, but I
this.
think
I'm gonna
so.
try to break this grapple.
You ends early. If you end your turn and haven't attacked a hostile creature since your last turn or taken damage since then, yeah, you can rage yourself by bashing your head against the wall if you'd like to.
That's
Crazy.
That's wild.
All right, so I'm gonna advantage. Try to break the grapple.
Great.
Let's go, Gravy.
17.
21,
Yeah.
baby. Yes, 21 plus 6. Yeah, hell yeah.
So,
Excellent.
with him distracted by his friend in cinders behind him, yeah, you get him into the elbows, knock them out to both sides. So, you do come loose. Give me an athletics check, and it'll be with advantage because this is with raging.
Athletics. 18.
18. Okay, I'm gonna say you're even able to grab the edge of this rock here as you grab the edge of the stone there. So you're kind of at his feet, looking up.
Now-
into the.
In the terms of taking damage, I look below me and I can see there's about 10 feet, 20 feet. 20.
Yes.
Could I,
20 feet.
since I'm kind of in control here now, could I do a control drop that wouldn't make it so I know where I was landing?
Yeah, you would not like tumble off the edge if that's what you're asking. You would definitely land on this platform down here.
Nah, you know what? Fuck it. I'm climbing up and
Okay.
action surging.
Say that takes
Nice.
10 feet of your movement.
Yep.
Fly back on the ledge there.
Yep. Here we go.
Moving with
Oh my God.
unnatural speed, even before the guy could. His elbows are still going out, and he's like, toss.
And I'm getting behind him and I'm going for the
Okay, give me-
How about the push?
and I'm gonna try to give him a old
Make with advantage there with your rage running.
18.
Yeah, that's gonna do it. 14
Yay.
off the side. Roll me 2d6.
2d6.
Actually, from there. No, it was about 20. 2d6.
7.
7 bludgeoning damage.
Whip around to Orba.
Hear no more chanting from the ogres.
Oh, toss, toss.
You do. Give me a perception check.
Oh shit! Vulture's coming.
You can give me one too.
4.
Oh, me.
Yep.
4 for the perception.
5. The only thing you guys notice is, without sort of being able to discern any kind of intention, there's been some circling vultures,
Yeah.
and immediately upon the sort of one that fell there on the side, on the lip there,
Yeah.
it sort of just sort of caught the attention. They're immediately kind of able to sense a dead creature that sort of is prime for the pickings there.
I'll then quickly turn around and see if I find anything on the body of the other one.
The one that's still up
The one
top.
that's still up top.
Give me an investigation check.
6.
He seemed to have very little on his person. He had a crude rope that looks like it was stolen from someone else.
I mean, is it a good length of rope? Like
30 feet of rope?
I'll take that.
Some good rope.
I mean, I got a 50 foot.
And he has that big crude sword. It looks hefty. It's not well constructed, but it's a hefty blade. And then he looks like in a pouch on his belt, it was like 3 more chunks of the lodestone that he had hacked off. But
I'm just gonna leave. One small enough that it wouldn't burden me to just stick it in my.
so small.
Yeah.
A chunk. Yeah.
It's like a small chunk.
Sure.
Orba will join him over at the ogre's body.
Graven, should we push these off so that the vultures don't, like, get in our business a little bit here?
I'm not gonna be here for long, but sure. And I'll start dragging that one.
As you drag him, like charred pieces of clothing are coming off on the ground. Yeah, it has a deathly sort of.
I'm gonna try to stick
charred
them
smell.
kind of near each other to have it be,
Makes kind of a puff of ash.
and running over to the lodestone.
Okay.
Getting my looking at where the cracks are on it from when I
Oh
fucked
my
it up a little bit
God.
last time, and making sure that I'm holding it nice and steady. And
Give me a perception check.
oh, how much is left of this thing? 5.
The only thing you notice is that you're a little more concerned than you were in the Ebwoods simply because chunks of this have been taken out. You're worried that a not precise strike might severely damage the lodestone.
Oh, I'm not worried about the mallet. I'm worried about.
I mean, you were
striking
already
into the
worried about
right
the
part.
mallet, but yeah, I mean, it's going to be an athletics check as it was
Yeah.
before, but a imprecise strike could. I think Ichabus even warned you. He was like, "Don't hit it too hard.
Yeah.
Like it could sort of disintegrate, not into dust, but into pieces."
I've lost my rage by now, so I can't recklessly attack it.
It wouldn't be an attack. It
Yeah,
would be
that's
an
true.
athletics.
Graven, if you're
You
worried...
could. I mean, if you spend another rage, you could have advantage on an athletics check. It would be a strength-based check.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
We could use the bamboo plant.
To do what?
Well, to give you a inspiration.
Yeah. To inspire my strike.
Are you concerned?
A little, yes.
Okay.
I'm worried that the strike too soft will do nothing and too hard will damage it. You've got to find the sweet spot.
All right. I just hope it doesn't go away.
I'm sure it'll be fine. I have faith.
You feel the magic. Does that take like a minute? You have to sit with it for like a minute? or something?
Once per day, if a creature touches, maintain contact for a minute.
Okay, so you have to sit there for a minute, and you can see some vultures kind of circling around the top of the main.
Do
Norman-
jumping jacks.
Yeah, can Norman just do some like lively dancing?
For now,
Try
they
to-
seem pretty fixated
Okay.
on the bodies that have
Yeah.
been shoved off the side.
Okay,
For a
okay.
minute there, and finally, you kind of like drawing out kind of a thin thread of magic you pull from the plant. So you're taking inspiration from the plant.
Yes.
And make they roll. It's been a little
What
while.
is it, a D? What's
So
the
one,
D?
the plant can either
Oh,
give you, we don't have sepsis anymore, so the plant can either give you inspiration or some
Temp
temper
HP.
HP, but when you use it, if you roll a 1 on a d6, the plant kind of withers a little bit and you have to
There's no
nurse
way.
it back down.
You could use the inspiration to get the plant back.
How would I do that?
He's using the inspiration for the...
Oh wait, no, you can't. It's a D6 too. Never mind.
Yeah, it does have to be
There's no way that I could possibly
Anthony?
roll. It's a 6!
The plant stays strong,
Wait,
it's
I didn't
green,
get the
and...
benefit. I can't use it again because I rolled a 6, right?
No.
All right.
You think he would give us that?
I very gingerly pull them. See?
The plant's
Quite
still
helpful.
very kind of virile.
Gripping that hammer,
Okay.
taking a moment.
It has kind of an epic feel to it. When you were in the basement of the Hanas
yeah.
Theater, you were in
Yeah.
this kind of dingy, kobold-infested area. But here on the peak of the mainsail, you look way out to the east and like the ocean kind of rolling out there, all the waves coming in. You look to the west and you see the peak of the mast on the other side. And with no creatures around, no one to see you, nothing to be in your way, you take a nice backward stroke.
Have you got Ichabus's compass still?
Yeah.
Know whether it's ready?
Yeah.
If you take it out, it's point. He said when you get close enough
Oh,
to it, it
there's a-
starts
yeah.
to indicate. Yeah.
For Ichabus.
Ah!
Give me your advantage athletics check.
Oh, come on. 11.
Is that inspiration? Can you use inspiration?
That is. Oh wait.
Why did you?
Oh.
Okay, so I did it with advantage.
It's effectively the same thing.
Oh, I thought you were using.
Raging?
Yeah. I thought you had advantage.
It's too late.
And with a hollow kind of knocking noise,
Oh no.
there's this pulse of just wind that comes coursing out, and you strike it true, and the rock kind of shifts for a moment, and then piece by piece, sort of where the banded parts of this rock, like the streaks of gemstone and polished portions, begin to shift and slide. And by your feet is a mound of shining dust and chunks of rock.
Slowly turn around.
The mall stayed intact.
God damn it, Graven.
I didn't break them all.
God damn it, Graven.
I'm sorry.
What did you do?
It was a sensitive. It's not my fault.
It's
It's the
gone.
fucking ogres.
The rock is gone.
They fucked it up.
You take your compass out and you hold it, and it's like spinning
No.
limply back and forth around in various circles.
Graven,
Orba,
why did you do that?
I didn't do it on
Why did you
purpose.
bonk it so hard? Shit.
It was a fine line to draw, and I fucked it up. I'm sorry. It's just gold. I know it was useful for people too, but who else even knows about these other than the crazy old Incubus?
You're telling him. I'm not.
Fine.
No, I mean, I'll support you, but I'm mad. I'm
I'm
mad
not-
at you. It's not your fault.
It's the ogres took fucking half of the thing already.
All right, well, is carrying any of these stupid rocks now, is it worth it at all?
I doubt it.
Does he need to see proof?
I mean, he'll know that we didn't succeed.
Yeah, but at least we could, he could just think we're lying. We could bring him a piece.
We could just leave out that we didn't even come here, that we were waylaid.
So we're not gonna tell him? He's just gonna send somebody else up here.
Yeah, we should tell him.
God damn it.
We tell him that the ogres already destroyed it. I'll have that.
Okay.
I've got that small piece still that I put in
Yeah,
my bag.
a chunk of it.
Shit.
God damn it.
I am disappointed as well.
Can we jump off this thing now?
Are you ready with a spell?
I mean, I'm always ready.
Graven starts running.
Hey!
Pace further to the east there.
Okay, so
Orba!
Yeah, but how far up is this thing?
I mean, like a few hundred feet up, it's.
Oh my god.
Okay.
And we have a clear perspective of the ground.
Yeah,
Is there
like
anything that
there's
we're
some of
about
that,
to hit?
it's a little cloudy for a little bit, and then they start to. You guys have taken a long enough leap off that you don't look like you're about to collide with any of those shelves that kind of jut out, and the ground is kind of coming closer and closer.
Yes!
Orba, it's time! It's time!
And that's where we're gonna take a break.
Graven! So fun!
Graven's like upside down at this point.
Yeah, because Graven wasn't like trying to land feet first. He was like, "Oh, I'm gonna drift down." So he
Yes.
That is where we're going to take a quick break. I was all ready to congratulate you on the loads.
Oh man.
Son of a bitch.
I should have rolled one at a time. That would have made a difference. I don't know.
Well, the reason I had you, I even said with the because you hadn't raged, so I thought you were just assuming you were using the inspiration if you.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about it correctly. I was thinking advantage, not inspiration, but
I mean, I guess it's effectively the same for that.
it was
purpose.
a 4 and a 6.
When we come back, we will head further through the Wakchu Barrens
God fucking damn it.
and think about what we might say to Ichabis Ultimari and blame the ogres.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, the rock was compromised by the chunks that they took.
100%.
God damn it. God damn it.
When we come back,
Yes.
I don't know what I was gonna say. When we come back, we will pick up right where we left off, and we'll thank people and enjoy the games as always.
Yes, we've got mini games.
Exciting games, and then we will see you on the other side.
All right.
Don't go anywhere.
God damn it.
Hello, I'm Madhu. Like and subscribe, please. Okay, thanks. Enjoy your puzzle.
Welcome back, everybody, to this campaign finale of Tabletop Notch. We have semi-successfully made it through the Walkthrough Barrens.
No, it's a huge
damn it.
failure. Gigantic failure.
God damn it.
You got to say you scaled the mainsail and leapt off, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To tell people we totally did this cool thing and have nothing to show.
There's no t-shirts at the bottom that say I jumped off the mainsail and survived.
We're going to be picking it back right up in the Walkthrough Barrens as we continue south on our way to Navikapura. But before we do that...
Yes. Well, first of all, the winners of the poll, it was to no surprise, the best failure of Graven in the entire campaign was the jousting.
There's still time to have a huge failure.
Oh, I thought you meant to
can't-
vote in the poll, and I
No.
was like, no, there's not.
The campaign's not over yet.
That's fair.
Failures to come.
So thank you all for voting and participating in that one. Here we go. Stung did 500 bits. Retro Riz resubscribed. Leias resubscribed. Shrimpity, subscribed. Hello and welcome. Troll Kind Style subscribed. Hello and welcome. Ali Slayer gifted a sub and then did 100 bits. Light Fox resubscribed. Olos Canta subscribed with Prime. Thank you very much. Cool Schaefer did 500 bits. Ali Slayer did 100 bits. Buddy 1977 did 11 bits and then Half Baked resubscribed. Thank you.
Thank you
very
guys so much.
Much appreciated.
Half-baked of character art.
Pretty sure Half-Baked 139.
Yes.
Awesome.
Unless somebody stole their handle right up from
Always excited to
shit.
see new posts. And you mentioned Prime, but we do the
yes.
thing where we say if you have an Amazon Prime, you get a free sub. If you click the thing.
Now
If you
we're
have a crown, give us the crown,
you just have
please.
to scroll, and then there's like a really small part with a little crown that you have to click. It's very unassuming.
Yeah.
And
So
that's
follow
if you
those
linked
instructions.
your
Okay, then you gotta link it.
link
to
your Amazon. It's very easy to do.
We made it sound very easy.
As long as you know your passwords, you're gonna have a great time.
Prime it up.
And we're gonna have a great time.
Thank you guys so much. Extremely generous, and we're very, very
Yes,
grateful.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Let's continue the journey, shall we?
All right.
After you drift down, descending from the mainsail, you return to your horses and cart, and again, it's not a super well-defined road, but the road is there. The path through that has been deemed one of the easier paths is easy enough to follow. And the rest of the journey through the Walkthrough it's sweaty, but boring, uneventful, not dangerous.
Okay.
The stretch from Vern to Navikapura is reasonably well-traveled. It's not a trip that everybody makes, but also not life-threatening to make that journey. So the roads, not paved or permanently affixed, keep you away from the open swaths of land where it's easy to get turned around or ambushed by one of the many burrowing creatures that makes the Barren their homes. As the elevation begins to drop a little bit, the water from the ocean starts to spill further and further inland, and the environment changes very suddenly, very dramatically, to a mire that's kind of thick with bristled shrubs. The entire region looks like you're peering through a dirty tinted window. Desaturated colors and isolated clumps of hovering mist are all around you. And in lieu of braving this unfamiliar area with the evening light fading, you do find a spot to rest and wait until morning before traveling through Uchpafen. So you guys can take a long rest here.
Oh, dang, nice.
Orba,
Sleep.
how does watches work when you're only two of you?
You guys have to mostly find a careful spot and
Cast alarm.
yeah, you can cast alarm. That's a very helpful way to do it, certainly. And, you basically, someone takes the beginning, someone takes the end, but there's a middle portion there that might be a little, But
Okay.
Yeah. All right. I'll cast one alarm.
with the use of the alarm spell, able to, you get yourself more out of sight than you would kind of normally. That would be not conducive to good watches, but conducive to hiding and making sure that the alarm spell does the bulk of the work there.
Graven, may I take the early morning watch?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'll stay up late.
If we get through the night,
You do,
just
indeed.
gonna. Is Graven as a cleric, every morning meant making those preparations, reaching out to Kuuzni, preparing his spells,
And for the last few mornings, there's been a lot going on, but this feels like one of the first times where I just get up and, sit, getting ready to kind of meditate or pray, and really just feeling no motivation like that. And having it is like a twinge of sadness, even though like laying next to me is this beautiful totem that I have, already found so much strength and attachment to. But like, there's like a little tiny like thing that it feels like I should be doing something right now. But I
Try to fill a little bit of that time with just some like physical sort of like like calisthenic kind of movements. But when you're finished with those, you find that just took way less time than all of the intricate spell preparation. So you find yourself just with kind of idle time to yourself there. And eventually, time passes.
time to finish the journey.
No pings in the night.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay.
Horses seem to have been restful as well, so I
Okay.
think we're all right to make the rest of the journey.
Yeah, where are we going to enter Navika-Pura? What area?
It seems like we're, closest to the coast right now, so probably
Unless you went way out of your way, it would be Wamparani, yeah.
Okay.
Branina, which is, that's where Mohan is, that's where Franco is, that's... even Ichabus is on the outskirts of Wamparani, I believe.
Did you want to see Thorsten?
I could see how things have been going for him, but...
Only if you want to. I'm just trying to think of who was in Wamparani.
Those three, Thorsten.
Okay.
We first met Cliff in another...
Oh, he's everywhere.
You're not sure where he's
everywhere,
based,
yeah.
but you met him in Nakuzi the first time.
I'm sure his folks will make themselves known to us.
Yeah,
They've been waiting for us, I
probably.
imagine.
Okay.
Is there anything else we were supposed to do for them? Or...
For Cliff?
Yeah.
We
Aside
left
from...
it in the shade. Like, let's go back.
Wasn't any kind of token or... It's just...
No. Is Pockets here? Is he based in Navika-Pura?
He's been on the favor ferry for weeks and weeks, so... I honestly don't know where he and my sister are based.
Okay.
She obviously worked in Mukmu for the Lakafuyu, maybe somewhere in between there and here, or multiple... And for the past many years, the Ilvigos have been a traveling sort, so
Right.
maybe not at any single base.
And as an operative emissary, he probably traveled quite a bit. Like, probably to a lot of the major cities. Like, he probably spent a lot of time on the road.
It would just be nice to give him the good news face to face.
I think he might find out quicker than we would realize, as somebody who is in contact with the Shade Assembly.
Oh, yeah.
He
You
might
think
be
they,
in-
sent out the memo being like, beep, beep, beep.
In fact,
Warning.
the news would be that we're alive, and not that we succeeded.
But he wouldn't know about your sister.
That's true.
Okay.
That would be good news.
All right. Well, let's keep our eyes peeled, and we got to keep a lowish profile, so...
Right.
Okay. Let's go.
You guys get back on the horses, hitching one cart still.
Yes.
Please. With daylight restored, you start the final leg toward the city by traveling through Uchpafin. It's a bit of a slog because of the variable firmness of the terrain, but several wooden kind of mini bridges that have handles along the sides have been left behind by travelers. They're like mobile platforms that two people could like pick and then put down whenever the waters kind of seep in to bridge small gaps where like to make, if you were trying to run a cart through here, there would probably be spots where the cart would get stuck in these little mires and fens, but these little bridges that people have set out, you can like pick it up and put it over a damp or spongy sort of moist terrain. And a couple times you guys are moving along and you can feel on your horse like the hooves start to sink in and you have to stop and get one of these things, put it down, and then have the cart kind of come over it. It's a slow process. It takes it's stop and start. Sometimes you'll go for a while and the train will be fine. Sometimes you'll have to use multiple of these platforms and you leave them behind when you're done. They're just like there's a couple dozen of these out here in various spots through Uchpafin that people can use to cart goods.
Oh, another one.
3.
I'll just do most of the work.
It's fine.
They're heavy, but they're not fragile, so it's easy enough to drag them to the spot that you need to take them to and put them in wherever you need. As you're moving a little further along, you catch sight of something kind of down, you're not on the coast, but on the coastal kind of side of Uchpafen here. And it does seem like another party of travelers maybe didn't take the time to use these platforms. And subsequently, there is a wagon stuck, and they're in the process of trying to yank this thing. One of the wheels is like almost halfway or more sunk in, and people are like trying to yank this thing up out of the muck. And they have 2 horses hitched to the front of it, and the horses are pulling, but it's pretty sunken in. And the wagon's much bigger than yours. It's a kind of a covered. You can't see inside of it, but it's a more covered wagon. So it's got some heft to it. So they're definitely struggling to pull this thing free. Give me some perception checks.
Who are these guys? 19.
6.
Okay. Orba, you're riding, and you. Just at first, your first instinct is, these people need help, that they might, sort of be stuck and could use your assistance. Something about their appearance just sort of tickles your brain.
Yeah.
There's 4 of them. It's 2 humans, a half-elf, and a dwarf. One thing about them that you note immediately is they don't seem to be in it together and, trying to overcome this obstacle. They're fighting. They're yelling at each other. They're calling each other names. Like, they're clearly, frustrated that they're stuck in this situation and blaming each other. You can hear them kind of cursing each other out a little bit from a distance. The half-elf and the dwarf both seem to be wearing, which is sort of curious for this particular area, sailor's attire. Like, an outfit that you would expect to see on a crew member of a ship. And the other 2 are a little more nondescript, sort of, no markings or clothing that means anything to you, but dressed differently than the dwarf and the half-elf.
Okay.
So from a distance. So that's what you're kind of able to see.
Sailor boys. I didn't see that.
Sailor boys, Graven.
Oh. We're not super close to the coast here.
Not super close, but you're not far from it. But
And, sorry, which way are they headed? Are they headed towards us?
it looks like, based on the way the wagon is oriented, unless they got turned around, they're headed to Navikapura.
Where did they come from? And the only place to come from is Vern.
Where's Kukariko from here?
I mean, very far north.
Okay.
Yeah, almost as far as Finlock.
Would there have been a port where they would have? Why are they here?
We would have seen it down along
Yeah.
the coast.
I mean, do you want to see if they need assistance or?
I'll try.
Okay.
If they get snippy with me, I'm leaving them.
Me too. Don't need it.
It's true.
Don't care.
Don't care.
You start to ride forward a little bit. Not trying to obscure yourselves, just riding up.
Yeah.
As you get closer, you hear kind of the back
Ready,
end.
spell.
You hear the kind of back end of a conversation between them, and the dwarf says to one of the 2 humans, "I told you set the pace too fast. You never been to fucking Uchpafen before? You gotta use the ramps in the tricky spots." And the human kind of chirps back at him, "Yeah, I fucking heard you. We wanted to be back in Navikapura by nightfall, and we wouldn't be out here at all if you worthless smuggling shits could keep from crashing your boats." And so that they kind of snip back and forth at each other, and they go down to the wheel again. And they're trying to pull it out. So you guys still have a little bit of distance, but you're getting closer. Anything?
Maybe we just leave these people to their misery.
Yeah. If I take out my spyglass and take a closer look, is any of? Oh shit.
Would you like this spyglass? Here you go.
Do any of them look like the guy who jumped off of the hatchling boat and swam south?
I'm gonna say you got a good enough look at him. No.
Okay.
Their attire, while not specific, looks like it could have fit in with that group.
Okay.
Of the 2 that are like sailors or.
Uh-huh.
There's no circumventing this group.
I mean, you circumventing by a certain distance. At a certain point, you're getting a little too deep into the
Right.
Uchpafen swamps there. But you can give a berth. They'll definitely see you. You're
Right.
not gonna
I say we keep our distance. They're stuck here. It's not like they're gonna be able to chase us down.
True. Okay.
Just
Yeah.
I'll keep an eye on the ground, and if we need to use any more of those, if they ask, tell them to use those fucking things.
What?
Use the
the ramp.
The
Oh,
ramps.
the
Platform,
ramps.
the
Oh,
mobile
yeah.
platform.
Yeah, solid advice, Graven.
I don't think we need to steal any more.
No.
Do you want to steal some more?
No, I don't want to. I don't really feel like killing.
Okay.
I'm not in a killing mood today.
You get a little bit closer, and they're very kind of preoccupied for a while, so you're able to get quite close. And even keeping a little bit of distance, you start to come up along the side, and one guy who's kind of yanking sort of looks up and sees, "Hey, we could use a hand."
Sorry, it's too much of a risk. We don't want to get stuck as well. You've got it. Put some elbow grease in, and I'm just continuing to...
Okay. As he spoke to you and you continued to move, the half-elf and the dwarf, the ones that were dressed in the kind of sailor's attire, they just kind of look to where the conversation was happening. And you look and see one of them doesn't look at you, they look at the horses and the cart.
Yep.
And he sort of
I'm just...
continuing to move there.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Aye!
Still moving. Moving.
You guys continue to ride.
Their lives were spared this day.
Yeah, hell yeah. They're lucky.
Oh my god.
Get a little bit of distance behind them. At one point, you're not like out of sight of them, and it starts to get a little mushy, and you have to like dismount and grab a platform. And as you're doing that, you're gonna look back, put the platform down. And after a certain point, the coast kind of bends a little bit, and they're out of sight behind you.
Okay, so when we get to Navika-Pura, we get rid of these horses and this cart and this cargo
Yes.
immediately.
Yeah, we can take it all to Mohan right away if you want.
Let's do that.
Let's do that. Ditch the horses. Carry the crew. Bring the horses. Then we'll see.
Great. Solid plan, Graven.
The Woolsey plan, a classic. The hours go by, and your pace naturally accelerates a little bit when you get to stable ground. But it's not just the security of your footing that's propelling you forward. Beyond the dreary coast of Uchpafen, you crest a hill, and you start to see far-reaching farmlands, neatly divided properties and fields of grain that bear the promise of civilization. A promise that will not go unfulfilled, as the horizon reveals more and more distant rooftops. For the first time since getting back to Mukmu after investigating the harvesting yard, you're returning to a city that you knew after a bit of an absence.
Yep.
And even though it wasn't an extended absence, you wonder what new developments might have changed the social landscape here.
Oh no.
Coming into the city from the north, the early evening hour has started the staggered illumination of various torches, lanterns, lamps, one after the other, with pauses in between, like fireflies waking up and following the leader one by one as the sky grows darker. The breathtaking scope of the tall ports is always a sight to behold. But the first specific dwellings that you recognize are further inland on your right. The stained glass windows of the well-to-do Cleaver residences, which Graven stopped by once upon a time.
Mr. and Mrs. Cleaver.
They love me.
And beyond that, a little ways, the domed roof bungalow that belongs to Ichabus Altamari, which is also right here on that sort of northeastern portion of Wamparani. Navikapura isn't your home, but with all the meddling and investigating that you did across all 4 townships, it feels like it has your fingerprints all over it. And there's something comforting in that, having seen the best and worst that it has to offer, having experienced both the unseemliness of places like Bosworth's basement and the Mycrawl Den, but also the delights of places like the Steederway and the Upa Ale House. Yeah. So you guys are coming in from that sort of north road into Wamparani.
So Ichabus is kind of on the way in here.
I mean, it's like it's past the Cleavers,
Yeah.
like. You know, it's easy to get to from here, but you're not about to pass immediately by it.
Maybe we'll wait on that. We'll go to Mohan as we said first.
Okay.
Start to move in. Some of the buildings start to come in on your right and left, and just in an instant, it suddenly switches from rural to urban as you pass from the farms and the fields into Wamparani itself. And the streets to you have immediately it feels good to know where to go right away. You're not following a path that you haven't been down before. You're not improvising a route through the peninsula. You know the roads that you need to go. You take kind of a main path that takes you into Wampirani-Na. And one of the first things that you see before you take a left into the direction of the tall ports, which are on the north end there, one of the things that you see is past the perimeter of that first part of homes in Wampirani-Na, the next notable structures are in very stark contrast to one another. And you've seen this before, sort of microcosm of the city itself, where you have the robust, borderline grandiose entrance to the Steederway that has this freshly painted and carved entrance. And then just across from it, the lifeless, dingy half circle of stone buildings that makes up the militia reserve. That sort of now as close to defunct as you can possibly be without being fully defunct, but the militia reserve. And this sort of slightly larger path goes forward, and then it branches off in a few directions. So if you were to turn to the left, you would head towards the tall ports. You wish to head towards the tall ports.
Was there like there'd probably be a stable down by where like the inn and
You know that there's a stable at All Hands
Oh,
on
yeah.
Deck.
Yeah.
Yep, you know that.
Maybe we immediately offload these horses just so or honestly tie them up and just leave them there and let people wonder where they came from. I'm not worried about selling these horses.
No, me neither.
All right. So,
You would remember, I would say, like someone's working the stables. Like he would like take money and you would, board the horse. So you couldn't just leave him. Like he would know that you left them there.
I mean, we could bribe him to say you don't know who you got these from, or just give them to him for free and retain anonymity in exchange.
he's welcome to sell them to whoever comes along and keep
Okay.
the money,
Yeah, that's smart.
as well as the cart.
Sure, yeah.
There was like
carrying?
3 crates, right?
I forget what all you took. A crate of potions, a crate of poisons,
and
there was
the
a-
ammo.
And the ammo,
And the
yeah.
ammo.
It's like
All
3
right.
crates. The ammo crate's a little smaller, but yes.
Could you conceivably
I could like walk slowly. I could walk that part.
Walk what part?
The
cart?
the cart like by hand.
Yeah, you could. It would be, you'd be sweaty by the end of that journey,
Yeah.
but yes, you could definitely.
I'm ready to do that. So if we kind of go straight towards All Hands.
Okay, you start to hear some of the familiar laughter and tunes, and once again, there seems to be always a few people that have spilled out onto the street as the packed interior is full. And in this early evening, this is prime time here at All Hands on Deck. A couple people kind of playing an instrument on the way by, sort of thanking people as they drop copper pieces into a hat there on the side of the road. The door opens and you see, not entering, but someone comes out the door, and you see past the door into the interior where the barkeep Rick has his famous sort of raven there on his arm, and he throws it up into the air, sort of, ah! And everyone, ah! You hear another chorus of cheers coming from the interior.
Still don't understand what that is, what they're doing.
They're drinking.
That sounds nice.
You pass by the entrance, and on the opposite side, there is a small sort of stable boarding area with a number of hitching posts and stalls that you can pay for to have the horse boarded there. And there's a younger sort of boy that you've seen before, the same kid that was there before.
Kind of just normal business. Bring them in. Start unhitching the cart.
Need a
and-
spot.
Please.
Sure. 2 horses?
Yes. Now about that, and I'm gonna take out 2 gold.
Okay.
How much does it usually cost for something like this?
For one night,
Yeah.
just like a couple silver pieces.
Okay, I'll take out 2 gold. This is for you. And
How long are you boarding them for?
we'd like these horses to go to a charitable cause, or honestly, wherever you think that they might be best used. And that's for you. Any proceeds from the horses as well, you can keep. Just like them to find a better home than us.
Make a persuasion check. You can see he's not like worried. He
Yeah.
just is. It's suspicious that the stranger would walk up and do that, so he's like a little.
Persuasion? Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
My father's horse died last week. Do you think I could be the charitable cause? Or would that be selfish of me?
Not at all. Use that to get yourself ready to own a horse again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Good luck to you and your father.
Both of them.
Yes.
Of course.
Wow.
Sell the other one if you need.
No, we could use a second horse.
Wonderful.
Can I get you anything? Can I don't know. Can I make it up to you?
If you see us at the bar, we might take an ale, but it's for a later time.
Okay.
Good luck.
Thanks.
He sort of holds the two gold in his hands. He goes up to one of the horses.
Oh.
Leads it into one of the stalls.
Nice.
I'm hitching that thing up and I'm starting to take the cart, like...
Okay, you start to do so.
Can I help with anything, Graven?
You can make sure nothing falls off the back.
That's a chump job.
We're walking...
The posts are a little too narrow to like have two people have it. You could
Orba
kind of be on the
supervises.
side, yeah.
What time of day is it at this
It's probably like 7:30
in the evening.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Okay, yeah. Oh, Mohan's probably at his house then at this point, but that's still at the tall ports.
It's north of the tall ports. Like you went there, so it's a little further up the coast there.
I'm trying to make my way,
You start to move in the direction. You now heading up. You take a right and you pivot toward the direction of both the ports, but with the intention to head further to the tall ports there. And as you start to get into that area, this is certainly the evening when things are winding down, but it's not so late that all of the dock workers have left. No new ships are being offloaded, but whatever goods have been offloaded are now being sorted. Like, a number of crates are still out. You see some people with parchment and paper sort of, these ones, that warehouse there, and these ones come up to the top. So a lot of people kind of directing traffic, people moving about, whatever has remained on the docks here. Some people sort of keep these ones sectioned off and we'll get those in the boats tomorrow. Let's go, let's go. And a lot of people kind of moving back and forth. At one point, as Graven's sort of hauling this cart through, people passing him in all directions. At one point, one guy kind of comes up with a crate. Oh, sorry. Quickly moves out of the way. Graven wheeling the cart further and further. And as Graven moves up to mop his brow, sweat on his arm, as when he brings his arm down, he's relieved to see that at the kind of north end of the tall ports, stepping out of a room, and someone's just coming by on his right, he sort of gives them a nod, brings a pipe up to his mouth.
Have you met him?
No, I've heard a lot.
There he is. And I'll start walking
And he doesn't look like he's in a hurry to like get out of here. He sort of looks around in the vicinity, nods and waves to a couple people. He had kind of a brownish sort of drooping hat that he had on. He takes that off, wipes his brow, and just sort of puts that down by his belt to let the cool ocean breeze kind of come in through his hair. Runs his hands through kind of thinning gray-brown hair.
He's kind of above us on like a...
It's pretty level, but it's a
okay.
little bit. But he's just on the north end of the tall port stocks there.
If we're within shouting distance, I'll start... Fowler!
Comes over, he takes another drag on the pipe.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you as well.
Who we got here?
This is my companion Orba.
Hi,
Orba. Mohan. Nice to meet you.
nice to meet you.
Most people call me Mo.
Mo.
So, what brings you back to the tall ports?
Feels like it's been a long time. Just nice to be back in society.
How long has it been?
At least a week or two.
Yeah.
I think the last person I spoke to was your elven friend. Came by to have a few words.
Yes.
Did she, sort of raises an eyebrow, talk to you about the contents of that discussion?
Yes.
She did.
And might we find ourselves sharing a ship in the near future?
I think it's possible.
Is there perhaps a more discreet place we could have a conversation?
Yeah, sure. Come on.
I'll say this is a bit of supplies for you, whether we come or no. Somewhere I can,
He sort of comes over and he sort of peeks
I'll,
back there.
I'll, give a little...
Supplies for the mission ahead, perhaps. Not for the running of the tall ports.
Honestly, whatever you find best use for them. As long as no, cracked eggs see that you, have all these things at once at the same time.
I'll be sure to make a note of that.
Bring him
Does
in.
it seem like he knows what the fuck I'm talking about?
It absolutely does seem like he knows.
He's like,
All right, he's figured it out.
He's like, cracked eggs.
yeah, sure, whatever, Graven. Yep.
He leads you, he takes the cart in, so I think I said this to Saphira when she came by, but there's like a warehouse, and then there's a door off of the warehouse that has kind of a larger sort of, not ornate, but clearly denoting an office of importance off to the side. He motions to have the cart sort of put into the corner there, and he takes kind of a big tarp, kind of looks around, drag of the pipe, he hands you the pipe for a moment, and then puts a big kind of cover over the top of the cart that's there.
Love that.
We'll make sure we get that somewhere safe for in a little bit. Come on inside. And he heads into his office. Nothing fancy, sort of a old sophistication to it. Deep browns and reds for the walls, the desk, the chairs, stacks of parchment on every surface. You see shipping orders, navigational charts, all the kind of day-to-day things here for the tall ports. Have a seat.
Thank you.
So, what do you want to talk about?
I suppose we should get the bad news out of the way.
Here me was hoping there wouldn't be any bad news.
Well, we are it. We are the only ones who came back south from going north.
He sort of sits out a little bit. And he kind of knocks the pipe out a little bit, puts it down on the desk. Dad?
Lost.
I don't dabble in magic, so the word lost has many meanings. To a layman, dead.
Yes.
I'm sorry to hear that, and not just for my own purposes.
It was a hard loss.
That puts a bit of a damper on my mission.
Another mutual friend of ours, one Miss Casivo.
I have been in touch with a Miss Casivo.
If you haven't seen her recently, I know I have it on good authority she is on her way here now.
It's good to know. I wasn't expecting her just yet, so I wasn't worried.
Soon.
That's good. Need every bit of hand we can get.
Have you found more?
A few, yes. We got, Sam has the Fletcher over in Nigarwis. He's gonna come along, make sure that all of our bowmen are adequately prepared for ship-to-ship combat.
Wow. Well, you will be pleased to see part of the cargo. It's very well crafted ammunition for that sort of purpose.
I'll make sure that he sees that. I tried to get Sarndero, but he had another bit of business to attend to.
Right.
Who else? We got young fella from down south. The Gentle Void got in contact with him in Mukmu. Mukmu's not terribly friendly to the Gentle Void. I don't know if you know that.
Yes.
He got in trouble with the local authorities, and he had some useful skills, so we offered him a job and brought him up here.
Is he a halfling?
No,
Oh.
Young boy. How
Yeah.
young?
I don't know. Early 20s, I suppose. Mop of curly hair.
No.
Does that mean anything to you?
Holland.
No.
Orange hair?
I think he called himself Window or something. I take it that means something to you.
Widus in Navikapura?
I suppose that is the case. My impression was that it was not particularly safe for him to stay in Mukmu, given that he'd upset the order of things. But I am told that the man is as good a tinkerer as Palomar Franco when it comes to a magic item or two.
Not an insidious fellow, but one who does get into trouble.
Sometimes you have to take your chances when you're organizing a mission of this nature. I can't always get my best people because my best people I don't know if are fully loyal to the Gentle Void.
Right.
You got to keep him safe. He can be kind of silly.
Okay.
Okay.
I only met him in passing so far.
He's very sweet. Very smart, but a little goofy.
He seemed a little odd.
Yeah, but he's great.
We offered him a decent sum to come up here, and he didn't seem all that excited about the money.
Oh, you got to give him magic stuff. That's what he likes.
Well, if we ambush this ship, there'll be magic aplenty to take a look at, I'm sure.
Oh, you will be right at home then.
All right.
Sorry.
That's all right. I'm glad to see your excitement rather than disappointment. If you had told me he was some kind of moron, then I would have had to think about my choice.
An asset, I believe.
Palomar was first on my list, but I think he's got a bit of a loose tongue sometimes when it comes to dealings in the Gentle Void. Too many people doing business with him.
Yeah.
Too pragmatic. Someone offers him a big enough price because they suspect something, he might let loose a detail or two.
Got it.
Not a bad person, just a man who looks out for himself.
It's a fair assessment.
Others. We got a number of people that I believe came into town originally for some mission that Cliff Ironcloud had in mind. They were supposed to be here as muscle to protect someone, but then it ended up they weren't needed. So we've hired them on in a mercenary sort of sentiment. Have a few of those.
Any names we would recognize?
He rattles off a few names. He like 6 or 7 people, but nothing that you recognize. Yeah.
We don't need that shit.
It's a big boat, so we're gonna need a crew to make sure we get all the way out there. I'd like to go in quiet and tidy, but we get out in the middle of the ocean and we're gonna have to make sure we have a ship that can sustain it.
How soon again do you plan on?
By now, I'm hoping to leave maybe in 6 days or so.
Well,
Well,
we may have other people to speak to here in the city, but we'll check back in with you whether we will have the time.
That's fine. I don't expect to occupy all of your time here, but if you're with us when we set sail, I'd feel safer.
Just to let you know, don't remember if I explained what my assets, or we fought alongside each other. Healing magic is not something that I have access to anymore, so you can leave that off of my resume.
Disappointing, but
Yes.
not a deal breaker. I take it that mound of wood on your back represents a shift in your skill set.
Truly.
I'll try if I can locate someone who might be able to provide that service. I could ask Donovan, I suppose. He's awfully
Old.
His age is getting up there to be taking excursions out to sea, not that I doubt his powers.
well, we'll do our best to also rack our brains for any other people who sympathize with the situation.
Or neutral parties, too. They can often be just as good.
Right.
Donovan's got an assistant, I think. Maybe we check in with him.
If he's skilled the same way, then definitely.
I appreciate the updates. Being without Saphira, that'll be a loss. I have to see if we can make that up in some way. I've watched a lot of friends come and go as a part of the Gentle Void. I hate to set sail knowing that we could lose a number more, but better to do it behind a cause than to do it for no reason at all.
I agree.
Speaking of Franco, there's a few things that he may have come across in his dealings in the last few months that may be of sentimental value to me that I didn't realize before. We've got some things that are worth trading for him, but in the
Dealt
past...
with Palomar before, have you
I
not?
have, yes. That is to say, I don't have any gentle void favors at the moment. If you have any extra that I could, perhaps just to get in the door, nothing major.
Oh shit!
How many poisons are out there in that crate?
There are. Damn it.
Wait, what was the question? Sorry.
There are
Poisons or
7 bottles of poison dust, 12 elixirs of health, and an entire crate of very good ammo.
I've made my peace with the possibility that this boat could be a one-way trip into the Paza Paza Ocean.
Oh my God.
Get what you need. It's probably 20 or so favors.
And like varying levels.
Probably varying,
right?
Wow.
Thank you. This will be helpful.
If it opens any doors for you, that's only a benefit to both of us. And maybe, just maybe, this will tip you in the direction of joining us on said journey. I hate to call it a bribe, but I'd like to see you on deck.
Understood.
I feel it's unfair to leave you on the hook about this. I will be joining you.
All right, then.
You don't have to. That's your own choice.
All right. Sure, there's not... This is our first conversation in the city. We came to you first.
I appreciate that.
But
You got 5 days. You don't have to tell me now.
all right.
But if I can count on you, that means having to search out one less person, so I'll take it.
Okay.
He's side-eyeing over it like he wants to...
The office is very quiet. You
Yeah.
can't have a private conversation.
No, nothing private. No. Thank you.
Of course. Anything else you need before I let you go for the evening?
If you see Jillian before us let her know that we are here.
I will. Like I said, I'm not expecting her for another couple days at least.
Right.
Okay.
You said you saw her. In good health, I hope.
Very.
Good.
And very motivated to help you.
Yeah, I got that impression. She was one of the first people I reached out to.
Well, it's been a pleasure, Mo.
Likewise. Come see me if you need anything. If we need to have one of these conversations, I prefer you come likewise at the nighttime, rather than interrupt my workings at the tall ports. Less so because I like being out there in the hot sun baking, and more because the more secret meetings I have in the middle of the day, the more suspicious it looks.
Of course.
You also know where I live if you have to come there.
I do. No other trouble there since that night, has there been?
You mean since you brought it to my doorstep? I'm
Right.
kidding. I think that was for me.
Right.
No trouble.
Good.
Trouble at your doorstep, speaking of. You haven't heard anything about Bizarra, have you?
I have not. Only that she made it out safe, and I'm hoping that I don't hear anything else, because if I do, it's probably bad news.
I like that. I'll assume good. Okay.
Someday I hope to see her walking around with a crown made of chess pieces on her head.
It
She
wouldn't
might do
surprise
that.
me.
It wouldn't surprise me one bit.
That would be magnificent.
I'll let you go.
Okay.
Thanks for the supplies.
Talk soon.
Cheers.
All right. He leads you out. He stays in the office. He sort of shuffles you out and then closes it behind him. It sounds like he's going in just to take care of some last-minute business inside the office. And you guys return to the outside here.
This is a big one. Yeah.
By your estimation of, like, just the structure and the engravings and imprints on the favors, you would guess that it's about
12 low favors and something like 8 medium favors, and then a few that you've never kind of seen before.
What?
A fancier kind of format.
12 low, 8 medium, maybe 3 of.
Yeah, did I say?
You said a few.
Said a few.
Right, but I initially gave a
12
number.
low, 8 medium.
When I threw this out,
Oh,
I
you said
about
20 or
20.
so.
about 20, so yeah, so what does that leave? 2 left?
2?
Yeah.
Sure.
It was 12. Oh, wait, 12,
12, 8
8.
is 20.
We'll say 2. Well, 2 unidentified ones.
Okay.
Damn it.
All right, that'll definitely get us in the door, and then some. Is there... I imagine
What?
Cliff will be made himself known to me. Oh, but that's what
What?
I think a conversation with Cliff needs to happen first before you jump into the sea.
Well, we didn't tell him when we went to the Shade Assembly, and that turned out to be super good.
I know,
And he probably wouldn't have given me permission to do it.
It's not about him giving you permission. I think you need to make sure that you stay safe and on task.
I don't know, Graven, the way that I see it, Saphira and Erland always seem to think these two things were separate. That tackling the meddling gods and handling the Myconid trade were two different things. But they're two sides of the same coin. Whether it's meddling gods or these people that are becoming so powerful, there is imbalance. And that is my whole thing, is to create balance. And what good am I if I can't do it everywhere? What good am I if I can only do it in one place?
You can.
It's important.
No one can do it everywhere. You have taken gigantic strides in that direction. I just want to make sure that you're safe.
I'll never be safe, Graven. Come on.
I've led so many people to ruin. I don't want to see that happen to you.
Well, that opportunity has passed, Graven. And now brings me to another point, actually, is you don't have to stay with me, you know. You just got your family back, and I'm gonna be doing this a lot. And I don't know if the other gods will try to take you, or others that I know. So you can think about it as well, but when I speak to Cliff, I will tell him that I might need a new team altogether. Because you just got your family back, so you don't have to continue.
If you would rather send me away, I understand.
That's not what I mean. It's your choice.
Orba, I am only alive because of you. I only have a family because of you. If you would have me, I will follow you. I will continue to keep you as safe as I possibly can.
Orba grabs his hand. Okay. Okay.
You have set the Ilvigos on a path towards finding their strength again, me included. They will be all right without me.
You gotta visit.
When I can.
Okay. Who knows? Maybe your sister will want to take up arms. Or call it quits. I wouldn't blame her.
Retire her and Pocket's retirement. It would not be too soon, I'm sure.
Okay.
God, Pockets. You
Okay.
have to let him know.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you gotta go find him.
Well,
I gotta go find Wadu.
maybe we... Isn't there... There's a mailroom here. Couldn't we leave word for a number of people there?
Yeah.
Including them.
Yeah.
We could look for them, but that would be a good place to start.
Yeah.
Leaving them messages.
Oh, I should have asked where Wadu is. went to go see him.
I was waiting for you to do that. I was surprised when you didn't.
Shoot.
I'm
It
sure.
didn't occur to me.
I'm
I used to cities.
He's probably in the main haunts, like the bars or the magic shop.
He's probably there.
He's probably at a magic shop.
Okay.
We do.
Excuse me.
Oh, sorry.
Couple people
Okay.
kind of pushing back.
Okay, so what's next? What's next?
Either the mill or Franco.
Well, the mailroom is not in Mombrani now, so
Oh, shit.
Franco, it is then.
All right.
Okay.
That's fucking wild.
You start to head back in the direction of the main section of buildings. You take the street that takes you past All Hands on Deck. Once again, the lively atmosphere only growing more raucous by the minute. And you pivot towards the kind of red-roofed streets of Fangle, which Graven has in particular been down a number of times.
Oh, God.
Oh no, that's the bad.
No, yep.
Yeah.
Fangle's the bad one.
No.
Wait.
Fangle's like Palomar's area.
Oh, I was thinking
You're thinking
Moreno's place.
Yeah, that's
That's in
all.
another-
That's not Upa.
You're thinking of La Patro. That's
Yes.
yeah.
No worries.
You start to move down the streets, and you're passing by some houses that you don't know the people there or anything, but just familiarity. Sort of turn left here, take a street here. The streets get a little bit narrower, and they start to move inward. And it gets darker and darker. The area over near All Hands on Deck, because it was sort of a main street, there was torches and lanterns hanging on every household. And now it's dotted. One house will have a lantern out front, one will already be dark, and sometimes you see a little bit of light emanating from the interior as people are kind of eating around a table or calling their kids in from the street. A couple small kids kind of run past you. They run past you into the open doors of one house, and like a woman standing at the door sort of shuts the door behind her. You get up to the house that immediately, even if you already didn't know it, is identifiable by the several locks that have been outfitted on the exterior, on the front door that Graven's familiar with. And you think that you're going to have to kind of go up and knock, but sort of sitting on the front stoop, kind of watching some of the kids play. He looks like he's kind of eating out of a bowl. It's a bowl of some kind of stew, and he reaches his hand in and takes out like a little bit of octopus or something, and he sort of slurps it up, and he's sort of reaching into the bowl. So he's eating out of that little bowl. He's watching some of the kids that are still out here in the later hours sort of being called in. Red bandana around his head. He's still sleeveless and has kind of a leather strap that goes from shoulder to waist that might be used to hold tools, although it's currently empty at the moment. So you see him.
This one you have met, I believe.
Yep.
We came here together, yes. Franco.
Oh, you again.
Yes, hello.
Hi.
What do you want?
Forgive us for interrupting your feasting here.
What do you want?
I have it on good authority that you came across some pieces a few months back that may have sentimental value to me. Would you be willing to take a look at some trades?
Hey, now when I first met you, that's what I thought you were coming here for.
Goliath pieces.
Yeah.
Why didn't you say anything?
I don't tell people what my wares are.
Well, I'd only just become aware that they were in fact stolen in a way. I don't expect for you to part with them for nothing, but keep in mind that these things were supposed to have been bartered by the
Those northern
fucking cracked
elves.
eggs.
Oh, the cracked eggs, yes. The northern elves.
Hatchling?
The hatchlings, those
Oh, you were looking for the
bastards.
real name?
Yes,
Oh,
I was.
Okay.
I was this time.
I can never tell if you're just trying to spit on their
No,
name.
well,
It's
then,
stupid.
last time I was. This time I want to be clear.
Got it.
The
Yeah, I
hatchlings-
worked with the hatchlings before.
Yeah, well, I don't know whether you got these pieces from them, but they are the reason that the Goliaths no longer have them, and they have nothing to show for it. My tribe. What have you got? I don't know. Things were scattered.
I've bought and sold a few of them. I thought maybe a couple of them might be magical in nature. Didn't really turn out to be the case.
None of them.
There was one that was a sort of headband. But apparently it only works for Goliath, so didn't do anything for me. Ended up selling that to someone else.
A Goliath somewhere here?
Yeah.
I've met a few. Do you remember who?
Yeah.
I'll think of his name later.
The dock worker? Or the gravekeeper?
The dock worker is what I was thinking of. The gravekeeper's in another city, I think.
No, there's a Goliath.
Does he work in the dock? I'll take out a low favor. And as I'll take it out slowly. For your troubles and your memory.
He doesn't like crumple it, but he stuffs it kind of into a back pocket there.
Avavarius took an awful liking to it.
Of course.
Well, that's the gravekeeper, isn't it?
That is indeed of the Navika burial grounds.
Right, you little bitch.
I'm sorry.
It's not in Wampurani Na, but
But,
it is in Navikapura.
yeah.
It's one of the other townships.
Do you remember what the properties of the bandana were?
You could just ask the gravekeeper.
I will ask the gravekeeper. Anything that you still have. Oh my God!
I have to give you one of those just for information.
I'm gonna take the Mace of Menace out and hold it out. Now this is a piece that has treated me well, but as you see, I've grown attached to a new weapon. I'm willing to trade this. It's quite powerful, magical.
Trade it for telling you what I have.
I would love to trade it for a piece, and I would love to know what those pieces are to be able to tell whether it's worth it.
One that I've got left is sort of like a part of a bust.
A part of a bust.
Yeah, well, it's old, isn't it?
I'm gonna take out another low favor and wrap it around the hilt of the mace. I'd love to get to see it first.
Sit here for a moment.
I haven't given him anything
Yeah,
yet. I'm
no,
still holding those two things. Yeah.
Disappears for a moment here.
Was this door fixed?
It looks like
from
it has
getting-
been repaired. I mean, you can see where the break was, but it
Yeah.
has been repaired.
Didn't I mend it partially too? I think.
Maybe, yeah. Probably a piece of
Time
it.
heals all things.
This piece of work is gonna put us out of all these favors.
Well, you're kind of,
He just sits there with his fucking face.
you could.
What? Intimidate him?
No, you could drive a little bit of a harder bargain, Graven.
I don't
He
even know
smells
what
your
he
desperation.
has.
He knows that he has all these illegal things that you love and care for.
All right. Well, it was stupid. I should have remembered Avavarius. That was dumb. I've already used two fucking favors.
Door swings back open.
I'm like checking how many I still have left, but not showing.
Palomar comes out with two items in hand. In his left hand, like he said, is a bust that it wasn't constructed as a partial bust, but it looks worn with time. In the eyes of the creature are two sort of bluish aquamarine gemstones that look like they're inlaid in a way with a little bit of stone in the center to imitate possibly the color of the eyes of the person originally. It's not just, the gemstones aren't just there to make it fancy or make it valuable. It looks like it was intended to replicate the look of the person that it was originally. It's a Goliath man that seems to have a set of armor that comes to a point at the center of the chest, ceremonial or like a known warrior would wear this as a leader of some kind. It has that kind of look to it, not just a regular garb or a pelt that you might have over your shoulders. And something about the way that the carving looks, it has bits of Graven in it, but an older version, like
Like a father.
a father. And in his other hand, in addition to the bust, he has a pair of gladiator-style sandals. Like, it has those latchings, with, like, gaps in between them, and then it goes up the ankle as well. And it's a smaller pair. It looks like it could be a woman, even a child's Goliath's pair of sandals. And those ones have little bits of, like, quartz in the center running down the front. Again, he seems to... Given how you've seen Palomar handle, like, magic items before, he seems convinced there's nothing magical about them, but that they were ceremonial or valuable, an heirloom of some kind. So he's got those in one hand and the bust in the eye.
I think a magical and powerful weapon is worth at least 2 heirlooms.
You didn't even know that these existed until I just brought them out.
I was forthright with you. I didn't know any of them existed until a few days ago.
Looks a bit like you, doesn't it?
It does.
I think it's worth more than what you got in your hand.
My friend is not very pleased, as you can tell.
Yeah, well, who is?
Orba?
What?
You think I become one of the most sought-after tinkerers in Navikapura by giving away things for fair market value? You came here looking for something, yeah?
Is there something else you had? Any plans for these?
Huh?
For this favor? Maybe I'll give him our last one.
Make a deception check.
Oh my god.
Orba was so close to not picking that one up.
Shit.
Okay.
8.
You see him raise an eyebrow. He doesn't say anything.
Yeah. You willing to part with your last favor?
Do you want other magic stuff or what?
Yeah, all right, I'll take a look.
Okay, yeah, so I've got a spell book that's got lots of spells in it.
Hold on.
What?
Don't tell him that much more. I want, and I'm gonna take out one of the indescript favors.
Okay.
That
One of the fancy ones?
Yeah, one of the most sort of, the borders are kind of decorated and things.
and I'm gonna take that out. I'm gonna wrap that around. These 2 favors and this item gets me those, and it allows us to see what you've got left and allow us to then barter for it, not this closed door bartering.
My inventory you're looking after.
Not all of it, just the... If you have something else that maybe fucking looks like me.
I don't have any more of these. The rest of them went away. I got no need for the items that aren't magical, yeah? Those went away mostly pretty quick, but nobody wanted a weird bust that looks sort of like you.
Sort of one hand at a time, kind of exchanges his stuff the favors. He looks over them now. Puts it just inside the door.
All right. One more question.
Mm-hmm.
Any busts with orange in their eyes?
Not a bust. Painting.
I take it that means something to you.
I would like to know where it ended up. He doesn't have it anymore, right?
I do not.
Where would we start to look?
I sold it to some people who were traveling. I think they were headed down to Tuktu. A group of Goliaths.
Group of Goliaths.
When was this?
I don't know, a month ago.
Group of Goliaths?
Did they also bear any resemblance to me?
A passing one, maybe. You know, Goliath looking.
You didn't get a name.
No,
Or why they were heading to, you said Mukmu?
Tuktu.
Tuktu?
I know. I didn't ask.
Did they know what they were looking for? Did they seem to come to you knowing what it was going to be?
No. They were asking about, some other items, and I think they caught sight of it in the back.
And it immediately meant something to them.
Yeah, I guess.
Do Rumik and Sasha have orange eyes?
No, neither of them do.
What the heck?
There are more than just my family members that would have known to look for me. Ayana had many people in her, not service, but working with and for her.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoy your seafood.
You know, despite the way that you walk away every time, grumbling, we do find a way to make a deal.
I'm sure you'll see us again, Palomar.
I'm sure I will. And he sort of takes the bowl that just has like the octopus juice left in it.
Got my... I've traded a face for a face here.
Oh,
my face for a face. I'll take...
Ugh.
Now finally taking a moment really to kind of, as we're walking away, to like, look at this thing.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't... There's something in you that you've felt before where it's like a memory that you can't reach. But yeah, I mean, the features... for someone who hasn't lived among or worked alongside Goliaths, some of the subtleties would not be picked up on. But for you, like... You share a lot of the same bone structure, some of the ears and things like it has a very strong familial resemblance.
So, who's this?
What does it look like? An older version of me, no?
Well, yeah.
I cannot say for certain, but it calls out to me that this is my father.
That's so nice.
Poor substitute for meeting the man himself, I suppose, but it is nice.
You got something. That's nice.
I'm sure Ayana will love to see it as well. Maybe these are even hers. I'll take out those little, like...
They're very pretty.
Would they? If I size these things up and look at her feet, does it look like...
They'd be pretty big on Orba's feet.
Oh, I thought they were like a kid Goliath shoe.
No, I was saying they look like a women's or like a teenager.
Okay.
Yeah, not like a child. Yeah.
Maybe we could get these fixed up to fit on you.
To fit my feet?
I don't know. There's several leather workers who could fiddle.
Sure. They're very pretty.
Traditional Goliath sandals.
Ayana doesn't have kids, does she?
I don't think so.
Just wondering. So much we don't know.
That's true.
Okay. Now what?
So, taking a look around for men in robes.
And we do!
Neither of those you've seen. You know,
Damn it.
It's getting a little later now into the evening as you've spent some time in Fangle at the Tall Ports, walking around the city.
Maybe we should make sure that we have a place at the inn before we gets too late. I don't
Which
know
one?
Other than all hands, what was the other one?
Well, Nauba. But you mean in Wamparanina?
Yeah, I suppose we could stay here. You think we should get away from the coast after those people saw us north of the city?
It's not a terrible idea.
Is the Steederway still running? This late at night?
We've taken it late at night.
You
Times
did have
four?
special permission that time that you took it very late at night.
I don't know.
I wonder if our free pass still works.
No, it probably doesn't.
I got us that free pass, remember?
Yeah. I'm just saying, it's been 2 weeks.
That's true. Well, if you'd like to go if the mailroom is in the next one in, then we could take the Steederway there now. Let's try.
Okay. Mailroom might be closed, but okay.
But the inn, I'm saying, not on the coast. Just get away remove ourselves a little bit from the coast.
Okay.
Head to the Steederway.
Head to the Steederway. The line has dwindled down significantly, and kind of as you're approaching, it looks like someone's being turned away a little bit. Someone kind of points to the interior, and then the guard there who has kind of a halberd holds out, "No!
Oh, no!
Get out! Come in the morning!" And the guy sort of, "Fucking get one rise, I'm looking for one."
Oh my god, it's this fucking guy!
Evening.
Evening.
Running a little late, but we have to make the one length trip to the next township.
Should have arrived a little earlier then, don't you think?
Should have? Perhaps. This is what we're working with. If you would please. I believe the people down there have a description of us.
Fine, you can go in.
Ooh.
No!
Oh,
Fucking...
that was mean.
Well, you shouldn't show up late.
Well, we were on a really important mission for Mr. Cliff Ironclad.
And the person downstairs will have a description of us.
Make a persuasion check. Either of you. If someone can
Or
do it.
both?
No, either of you. Graven had the last word. He can make the persuasion.
Persuasion. 23.
Whoa, okay.
If I go down there and they don't have a description of you, you'll get on the permanent ban list.
That sounds pretty severe.
Do you accept these terms? I am so authorized.
I
Does
doubt
that
it.
seem true?
Make an insight check.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Oh! 21.
21. I will say, it looks like based on his attire, he has ranked up, like
Okay,
ascended a little
okay.
bit. Like he has a more professional appearance to him, whereas he was just kind of a guard before. You doubt that he has full banning. Like he can turn people away.
And that quickly without
Yeah,
some
but-
kind of history of us being
one assumes
troublemakers.
there's some paperwork involved in that and some. So yes and no. Like he definitely seems to be in a position of more. Like
Okay.
if you piss this guy off, he might be a thorn in your side, but of the ability to ban you, unlikely.
Sensing that Orba will take a courteous bow. I accept these terms.
Goes inside. He closes the door, and you can hear like as he's like kind of locking the door from the inside. Disappears for a moment.
Fucking... This guy.
Okay, so we go to the one town over, which is Nagarwis.
Nagarwis.
And we sleep in that terrible... Nagarwis is the first
place we stayed,
And we sleep in that horrible inn.
It wasn't horrible.
It wasn't great.
I mean, there was a few laborers there. It didn't smell great, but it wasn't a horrible
we
place.
don't have privacy. There's
Yeah,
no-
it was
it's
a
one big
shared
room.
room. Yeah.
But okay,
We could stay here in the... Well, we're about to find out whether we're even going to
that's
be able to make this godforsaken trip.
Give me a perception check, both of you.
oh,
4.
6. Come on.
You hear you hear kind of a heated, or maybe not heated, but like loud discussion on the interior. First of all, the guy you're talking to, his natural speaking volume is very loud. And it seems like the person he's speaking to's natural speaking volume is very loud. And you hear kind of a... And coming back up is the door kind of flings open. He motions inside.
just to confirm, were there portraits of us downstairs?
There was a description.
Okay.
As I said, thank you.
Go!
Remember this face.
And this one.
Good night.
Good night.
I go downstairs.
You go downstairs, you take a few steps down and waiting at the bottom of the staircase.
Oh my god.
Well, look who it is!
Oh,
and
no.
Handler Birch is there, sort of.
Barch!
Come on down. I
Did
got
you-
time for one more ride.
Has anybody passed along that we gave you excellent marks to Cliff Ironcloud?
They certainly did not.
Oh no, we totally gave you a shout out.
I believe you.
All right, let's go.
Come on. He gets down to the bottom and his steeder is there waiting. The spider looks like kind of a little fatigued just from the
Aw,
activity
sorry,
throughout the course
buddy.
of the day. She's got one more in her and he pats the steeder on the back.
You say so, Birch.
He sort of, it seems like they've upgraded the, like, saddles of the Steederway, even in the short time that you've kind of been, it seems like it's been popular enough that they, like, the whole place, the exterior as well, like, the mode of transportation has been a huge boon to the kind of spread out nature of the 4 townships. So it looks like they've made quite a bit of money here. And he sort of unfolds, like, a metal, like 3-tiered step ladder kind of that
Oh,
helps you
sick.
kind of like get up into the back
Love
portion where the abdomen thorax. So-
Butt?
Sure.
Yeah, the butt portion of
Big
the
spider booty.
yeah. He helps you get up to the top there. Don't forget to cover your mouth. Oh, where are we going?
Oh,
Nagarwis.
Nagarwis.
Garwis it is.
Let's go! The dust and air moving quickly by you. The legs of the spiders sometimes like go up on the sides of the walls. You can see them kind of come up one at a time, propelling itself forward, almost like using the kind of, it's not sticky, but like spines of the arms to kind of grab at the walls, and pull itself further and further forward. It also looks like over time, a Steederway tunnel, deteriorates a little bit with the activity of the spider, and it's been patched in some places, like sort of more sort of not flush stone, but loose stone, so the spiders can still grab onto it effectively. You make your way to Nagarwis, and he sort of tips his hat to you on the other side. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Pleasure as always.
Yeah. Give us your catchphrase.
What's my catchphrase?
Oh, smooth ride.
Hope you had a smooth
Okay, thank you.
No,
You don't remember him saying that?
I thought it was that we would tell everybody your name.
Handler Birch gave you a smooth ride.
Oh, right.
You tell him, Hammer
Oh, I thought that was a catchphrase. It's just something you said. I'm sorry.
Boy. Get a good rest.
I guess it's my thing now.
I made that significantly uncomfortable. I'm sorry.
First didn't seem that uncomfortable.
Okay.
Sure, you ran it many times in your head after you heard it that one time.
Yeah, it just struck so true. I thought it was something he said to everybody.
He makes you feel special, that Handler Birch.
Okay, let's go.
As you ascend out of the Steederway, you find yourself back in a very familiar place. The Melvin Hoggs Memorial Building.
Oh my god.
Sort of entrance to the Cedarway in Nagarwis.
His daughter.
Yeah? Who hates us?
She didn't like us.
You see the statue of Mr. Melvin Hoggs. You see the engraving at the bottom. Give more than you take from those who refuse to give. Find your way outside. Again, sort of into the later hours at this point, 9 o'clock, 9:30 in the evening. Nagarwis being a much, much smaller place than Wamparani Na. It's much darker here. Only a few of the buildings are lit. The memorial building is lit decently, given that people kind of come in and out of here. There's a few offices inside there.
Okay, do we pass the mail house on the way to this inn or no?
No, but also Nagarwis is very small. Those are not far from
Only
each
takes a
other.
few minutes.
Oh, okay. Do you want to just walk by? Do you want to walk by the mail house and just see
See if it's still open.
Okay.
Give me perception checks, both of you.
Oh my god. Why are
They've been following us this whole
That's
time.
another fucking 2. 4. Oh my
8.
god.
Okay.
Stop it, Matt! Matt! Ugh.
You make your
Mr.
way.
2 is right behind me with his mask, like. Yeah. All right.
God damn
You
it.
take a left that takes you back around to the back side of the Melvin Hoggs Memorial, through a narrow kind of passage between two homes, and you see that sort of two-tiered structure where it's one building, another building, and then kind of a arched overpass that carriages can pass through so they can load up goods and send them out. It's very quiet here at this point. There's a few small lanterns lit, a couple record keepers that are some of the ones here at the later hour, sort of scribbling away, taking inventory. A couple packages are stacked up, and he'll pick one up, make a note, and then place it to the side. So there's still a few people here. There is that, like, I think it was like a bell on a cord that you can ring near a little lectern by the side.
Maybe, write out a few things before we bother them quickly.
About what?
We were gonna leave something for, pockets.
Oh,
And,
okay.
I already forget the other one. Wedu?
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I was going to see if Wadu wrote back first, but yes, I could write some
Oh,
stuff
you
out.
already wrote to something.
Oh, I wrote
let's,
to Wadu weeks ago.
Let's check.
Okay, go ahead.
Go to the
Ding, 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 ding. Someone walks over. You've met the main person, Baldwin is his name, but you don't think that that's him that's approaching. It's a younger, sort of early middle-aged elven man that walks over that has a attire with sort of a loose gold trim, a sort of robe that denotes a status of some kind here, but clearly not like the postmaster. That's the main guy that's here, and he comes over. Yes, can I help you?
Yeah, hi. I'm here to see if there's any mail for Orba.
I would love to take a look. Anything else while I go check that?
Graven?
Graven Elvigo.
Of course.
Oh, and Erland and Saphira, if you don't mind.
I wouldn't be at liberty to hand over anything for names that do not match descriptions in our records.
Okay, never mind.
You're asking for 4 names, and there are only 2 of you, is what I'm saying.
Okay, thanks.
Of course.
disappears for a moment.
Is it worth, after he's gone, is it worth asking their posthumous policies? Next of kin?
Yeah, it's just hard to think about. If you want to ask,
I'll try.
it's hard to say. Okay.
Comes back after a moment. He disappears into one of those side rooms. Comes back out. Were you expecting something?
Oh. I guess perhaps not. There was nothing for either of those names.
No.
All right. A follow-up on those other two names we gave. Your policies on retrieving things for people posthumously.
I'm very sorry to hear that. We have a minimum holding of 30 days to make sure that someone doesn't claim them erroneously.
Well,
Okay. If it could have been important correspondence from people within the Broken Crown or something, there's no Broken Crown official we can speak with?
You are permitted to give a name to Mr. Bukowski when he is here. Mr. Baldwin Bukowski, that's the postmaster.
Okay.
And if you give him permission to open a letter or package, they can check the contents for sensitive information that we are at liberty to pass along, assuming that your account of it matches.
Account of the contents.
Merely that you know who it was coming from and what it might pertain to. Anything to confirm that you're not simply asking after something that is not yours.
Okay. That's good to know. Thank you.
Yes, of course.
Good night.
Good night.
Oh, sorry.
Well,
Oh,
is there
letters?
time for us to leave a quick letter?
Is it being delivered somewhere?
No, it would just be left here.
Oh, yes, of course.
Pockets?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'll quickly draft out. What are you writing?
Sure. What's the gist of it? You don't have to...
Yeah. Ayana has been saved. She reappeared in Mukmu. She's aware of the goings on and can't wait for us all to be reunited.
Hold it up. Hand it up.
Pockets?
He looks at it. Pockets? Is this the name?
Yes.
Just confirming.
Right. Oh, and description. I give a description, right?
He sort of looks back. We have a description.
Thank you.
Thank you. Walks away.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's go to bed.
Hopefully the inn's not too busy.
Yeah.
Find your way over to the inn at Nagarwas, which you have not stayed in since your very first day in Navikapura.
That was like episode like 64.
69. I think 70 woke up in Navikapura, I think. Am I
Yes,
mistaken? Yeah.
we arrived in 60.
So
yes,
69 was the arrival of
That's like 80 something episodes ago.
Yep.
It's like half the campaign.
That's half the
ago.
campaign ago.
Oh my god.
Got it.
You will go through. You talk to the innkeeper. He says that there's beds available. He does say that there's other people. That you're not going to be alone in the sort of shared bunkhouse. There's like two rows of 8 and they're bunk beds, so 16 beds total. As you open the door and you walk in, it looks like maybe 8 of them are filled, not 8 like 8 bunks filled. So scattered. Some people's on the top. There's one on the bottom. Then there's a 2 together. So throughout the room, there's options for you. You can each take a bed. You could take a top and a bottom bunk. And as you're walking down there's like a main strip that you can go off to the left or right to get into the beds. And as you're walking down that main strip, you sort of look to your left and rolling over is a mop of curly reddish hair. Sort of in the bunk there.
In one of the bunks in the inn.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not in the inn. The inn is separate, but in the bunkhouse.
You could talk. Do you want to wake him up? Just be kind. He's sleeping.
I don't want to wake him, but I don't want him to wake up before me.
All right. I'm sure he'll be happy to see. I'm sure he'll be happy to see you. Give him a shake.
Orba's gonna get up to his bed.
Oh my god.
She's gonna get down on her. She's on like a lower bunk.
Yeah, he's on the level.
She's gonna get down on her knees
Don't
to like
scare him.
right in front of his
Oh
face.
As you get closer to him, you see that thick mop of curly hair. He's sleeping in that like kind of almost like a leather duster like he has wrapped around him, like with the blanket over him. He hadn't like taken any portion of that off. That still looks kind of stained and sort of burned, singed away in a few spots from various experimentation with magical items, some of them to eating away at the material of the jacket. And
Orba tilts her head sideways. Hello? We do.
What we do? This is my shop.
You might have to jostle him.
Oh, I'm gonna touch him.
Orba's gonna put her hand on his shoulder, give him a little shake.
He sees you. Hello.
Hi.
he sort of sits up a little bit, rubs his eyes.
I woke up.
It's the middle of the night.
Yeah. I was excited to see you. I'm sorry. I should have let you rest.
That's okay. Nice to see you.
It's nice to see you too, Adu. What a surprise.
I'm sorry I didn't write you back.
You got my letter.
Yes.
Excellent.
Well, I tried to send it back, but they were already on the lookout for me in Mukmu.
What did you do, Adu?
I was still removing bands of the benefactor. You can make a lot of money doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you still have that money?
Yeah.
Oh,
I have more money than that. I sold my shop.
you sold trinketry?
Yeah. Mukmu wasn't a good place for me.
Yeah, Mukmu kind of sucks.
Well, it sucks more when the law doesn't want you to be there.
I'm sorry, Wadu. I feel the same.
It's okay.
Oh, but hey, I hear you're here for Mohan Fowler's thing. Yeah?
I'm not supposed to say anything,
Okay, I won't say anything either. Or we'll give a wink.
but yeah.
Okay?
A couple Gentle Void people found me in Mukmu. They found out I was selling my shop. And I know that the Gentle Void isn't supposed to show their faces in Mukmu, so they had to do it very quietly.
Well, you sold it to the Gentle Void.
No, they just found out I was selling it,
I see.
and they assumed that I was leaving Mukmu. They said that they had a mission for me if I was interested. They knew that I tinkered with magic items. I said okay.
That's all you know?
I know a little more.
Oh, okay. You don't have to tell me. It's probably unwise to do it here.
Yeah,
I'm so happy to see you.
good to see you too.
Yeah.
Are you looking at other beds?
Yeah, I'm
Make
like
a
looking
perception check.
see if anybody's
Oh,
like
golly.
sitting there like. Oh my god.
What is
5.
Fast asleep as far as you can tell. The other bed.
Well, I'm going to be in town for about a week or so. As you guys take off, I might be joining. But I just wanted to say hi.
Okay,
I'll tell you all about all the magic I've seen.
I would like that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you about some of the stuff I sold.
Oh, yeah. I would love to hear it.
Yeah. Hello.
Wadu?
Wadu.
Right.
Okay. Well,
Get some rest.
I'll let you rest, but it's really good to see you.
Thank you.
Okay, good night.
And he falls back into his bed.
Once we make our once
You
we've
can
kind of
go to the
stepped
back,
away.
like, little
yeah.
corner there where there's a empty monk bed.
What was that about giving people kisses?
What? We do?
You wanted me to kiss Jillian.
Well, you talk about how much you like her all the time and how it's so
My
exciting to see her again.
Gods.
You think
You
I
were-
should?
You were excited to see him, weren't you?
Yeah. I guess, yeah.
Maybe I'm off base.
You see Orba's wheels turning a little bit.
Maybe I'll do one more peek out front to see if any robes have been on our tail here.
Okay, I'll pick out
Pick out a
top
couple
and the
good
bottom
ones.
bunk.
Okay.
Give one more peek out the door.
Yeah.
Give me a perception check. getting late now. Not a lot of the lights are on.
13.
13. You see no robed figures, no advocates that seem to be milling about Nagarwith. One thing that you do see that you can kind of off to your right is where that bridge goes over, where actually the gatehouse is, where Donovan is. But there's a couple figures that are passing by each other just on that little bridge over, and it doesn't sort of. Nothing, it seems fairly innocuous. Nothing about it seems sort of suspicious, but it looks like one guy kind of leans in and like asks the other guy something, or like the guy is leading a horse in from the other side, and the two of them kind of stop and just get closer to each other. And you see a little bit of like hand movement, and something about it feels familiar to you, and you listen a little closer. Life's hard. Comes at you fast, too fast. A lot of people looking for a way to slow things down. And I know just how to do that. I got something that'll slow you down, slow you right down to a crawl. And the guy with the horse sort of, no thank you. And continues on his way into town. And you watch him sort of, all right.
Oh my god.
He's just kind of out.
It seems like he's left his spot on the road and he's like making his way back.
I mean, he's basically just on the other side. Like you met him between Nagarwis and Wamparani Non. Looks like he's kind of on between Nagarwis and Nakuzi. So yeah,
I'll roll my eyes and come back inside.
How are these? Ta-da!
Perfect.
Okay. Let's go to bed.
Settle in. You want top or bottom?
On top, obviously.
Fine.
You guys go to sleep, feeling for the first time in a long time that you don't need to set watches, sort of with the comforts of a real bed, and with even in these, again, it's not shoddy, but even in the limited confines of the shared bunkhouse, a significant upgrade in comfort from both. You slept like between the Barrens and Uchpafen the night before, sort of a weird mixture between dry and humid air that you found a little spot there.
That foggy.
Before that, the harbor, sort of a very chilling
Sleeping in a humidifier.
sort of harbor there right below Finlock Forest. Before that, in the wilds of the peninsula where whispers were greeting you in the night and the Witherbloom
my
pledge
God.
mages, sort of. So compared to those, this night is a dream sleep. You find yourself drifting off immediately, and after that, sort of coming to in a very satisfied state, sort of feeling like you got a real deep sleep there. As you awaken and you look around the room, it looks like most of the people, in fact, all of the people, have vacated except for you. You wake up and you're kind of in the back of the room and no one's left in here. Some belongings have been left behind. It doesn't look like it's been emptied out, but the room is empty.
Okay.
And as you sort of come to a little bit, you look around. On the door.
Graven?
Be ready for anything, I suppose.
Let me get down from my bunk.
We're like, I've got the totem ready.
Been in the fucking woods for too long.
Who's there?
I was wondering if I could speak with Orba for a moment.
The Celis. The Celis Graven.
All right.
We're here.
Of course.
Lynn.
Open the door. And as Celis lays his eyes on you, you watch as some clear signs of fret and worry, kind of just relief takes the place of those, washing over his face. You see that same staff in his right hand, the crescent moon staff that he had in his possession, reflecting the light of the sunlight from outside. It kind of even shines into the interior, sort of dancing across the floorboards of the shared bunkhouse. He has a sort of little tuft of beard. A little more beard has grown in since you last saw him. It's a little less finely curated than it was. Maybe some nights of worry. And,
ragged?
Yeah, a little some busy evenings and sort of planning for the events to come. I have to say, it is good to find you safe and in good health. Graven, I don't believe that we've formally met, but I do, of course, know you.
I have heard of you myself. It's nice to finally meet you.
My advocates have told me, and I am sad to confirm with my own eyes, that there are only 2 of you.
Yes.
I would enjoy hearing the details of what transpired in the Roper Mountains, but perhaps for a different time. I just wanted to say that I am glad to see you, and to say that when you are ready, Cliff and I have a new assignment for you.
New assignment.
Yes. A different assignment.
Not similar to the one before.
Different how?
Not a creature that you are hunting. We've received word from another powerful wizard that we think that it is time for you to meet. He is currently in the Tunkuri-Kawalu Mountains. There is a range there that they call the Vale. And he has asked, by sending a message to me, if we could send you to speak with him. A scholar of sorts, who is well versed in the history of the Reapers.
What is his name?
And trustworthy, yes?
He is trustworthy. Yes, I am confident of it. Salandriel knew him very well. His name is Shirrick. S-H-Y-R-R-I-K. Shirrick. He has been working alongside Salandriel for some time, attempting to locate the Reaper, and also studying the ways in which someone was able to find the Reapers before we were able to get to them. He believes he has discovered how this was done, and he would like to speak with you about it so as to ensure your safety.
How long does it take to get to this place?
Many days.
It is not a short trip, I am sorry to say.
She must not make it alone.
I would prefer she didn't.
And it cannot wait?
Must it?
It should not wait.
I take it something else has garnered your attention.
There are other paths. Yes. But I think if what you say is true, forces unknown and greater forces than we have even considered at this point need to be addressed. And if this person can help, you should go to him.
I severed Kuzni's connection.
I know this. Not because I could feel it, but because that's exactly when Shirrick reached out to me. I believe he knew when it happened.
There was unfinished business that I wanted to honor. You're saying I can't do it?
How much time do you need?
It will take weeks. A week before we leave. Could be days before we even reach the destination.
Two weeks? 2 weeks is how long I would estimate it might take to reach Tuncurry-Kuala. However, in the Underdark, underneath the Veil, there is another underground mountain range. There was a lab there who once belonged to a friend of mine. He has passed. But his teleportation circle remains. It is dangerous. But if this task would require your attention, you could see to it, and then take a teleportation circle to the peak beneath the Veil, and reach Shirik through that means.
You know the runes, you know the way to get there.
I do.
Have you ever been to the Underdark?
You're asking me?
Yes.
No.
Have you?
Yes, I have taken this portal before. I would not recommend it, but it is not my place to deny the Reaper of her tasks.
We'll take the road of the Underdark then.
Where can we find a teleportation circle?
You will come to see me when it is done, and I will take you to it. It is not far. In the meantime, I suggest you study up a bit on the Underdark. And I will use that time to procure for you some additional companions. I would not send only 2 to the Underdark.
We will accept anyone you recommend.
I'm sorry that this news brings you distress. I would have liked to bring you good news.
I'm sorry, I just...
Important things demand her attention.
Don't they always?
I'll do everything I can to make sure that she does come back to you.
Please do.
I am grateful. I apologize. It's been a long couple of weeks.
Yes. Cliff received your correspondence. I'm sorry that the Cold Light Walker proved to be dangerous, more so than we thought.
Yeah, holy smokes, that thing was crazy.
This is not the reason for your friend's passing.
No,
No.
Kuuzni is.
We believe that the Cold Light Walker was formerly a member of the Shade Assembly, and still held on to some magic. Was able to greatly aid it in staying on its feet.
A real challenge, then.
Yeah,
Yes.
quite.
You seem different.
How so?
Ignore me. Just the mutterings of an old fool. When next we speak, I will have procured a number of potions, weapons, bombs, aids, procurements. We will need to prepare. And he's at that last sentence, he's almost like talking to himself more so than you. Like you can see he's thinking about the place that he might be sending you. He's sort of running that through his head. Must be prepared. Must be prepared.
Cliff, is he in the city?
Yes. I believe he's a little bit north out of town, settling a territorial dispute, but he will be back.
Territorial, like the elves, or?
I believe it has something to do with the Elatrians. I believe that the barkeep from the Upa Ale House is there to aid him in these negotiations.
Oh, good.
Her relations with the elves are strong.
Yes.
He's in good company.
As a favor, between now and when we get back, if any Goliaths from my clan make their way to the city, would you just help them get settled?
I will tell the advocates to keep an eye out. It is uncommon for Goliaths to come through. We will make sure that we ask them.
Thank you.
Celis?
Orba. Graven.
Celis.
Orba reaches out her arms for a hug.
Okay, he puts a hand kind of on the back of your head.
Thank you, Celis, for everything.
Sort of holds you out again.
I never didn't think you would come back. Must prepare. Must prepare.
Sort of stands at the threshold of the door and opens it up.
Graven will sit down on like whatever bed is closest.
Sure, yeah.
Like
it's not yours, but yeah,
Yeah.
you sit on somebody else's bed.
the Underdark.
So, like,
You really want to go on that fucking ship, huh?
yeah, I really do.
All right.
Is there any good stuff to kill in the Underdark, Graven?
I'm sure we'll find out.
Let's hope they aren't filled with myconid gas.
Give me perception checks, both of you.
Oh my god.
It's time.
Oh my god! 5!
12?
Fuck.
As you're sitting there in the quiet, it's very quiet inside the bunkhouse here, and you start to hear a little bit of kind of rabble-rousing, like some chanting, some like some people kind of riled up a little bit, like some quiet footsteps marching, like it sounds like a small crowd of people, and you hear kind of a little bang on the door.
Yeah, get the weapon again. Like,
And you open up, and the voice that you hear is that of Wilson Cleaver.
oh God. Wilson,
Open the door!
what do you want?
Open the damn door!
Graven?
And I'm gonna with the thing and still
Okay.
in one hand, I'm like,
You swing the door open, and he's standing there, kind of in a intimidating pose, and there's a number of people behind him, like people that are kind of like trying to get a look and like peeking in between the cracks. And he looks at you, and he kind of gives you a wink.
I heard you was back in town!
yeah.
Time for a rematch!
Fuck you. I'll
And then
like.
two of them kind of come in. And they go in for a kind of tussle of sorts.
Oh my God.
The path ahead is paved with questions of duty, of honor, of family, of the things that we value most and the people that we trust to get us there. Without the spellcasters of Antisuyu knowing it, the arcane crafts that they hold so dear are a little safer today, thanks to you. There's plenty of work to be done, no doubt. But the side of the magic scale groaning under the weight of the meddling gods has finally been allowed some small relief in the form of a severed strand. Through several avenues of coordination, Mohan Fowler's ship is set to intercept a massive haul of extract on its way to Saveni's wharf in Ki'ira. A major blow to this nefarious trade if the plan is seen through to completion. That and the destructive events at the harvesting yard could be the first steps toward a better regulation of the extract's use, and perhaps more importantly, a more widespread understanding of how easily that power can be abused. From a knock at the door of a tiny cabin on Holland's farm, to the chance encounter of a curious hitchhiker, to the harbors of Urinchupa, the horrors of the harvesting yard, and the uneasiness of Mukmu, to the confines of a genie temple, to the tempests in the grove, to the gentle void prisons and Celis's doorstep, to the corridor, the crater, and the Rapras, to Kukati and the peninsula, to Finlock Forest and the heart of the Shade Assembly. The party was 5, but the others are not present now. Bizarra, Erlin, Saphira. They're not gone. They're just simply part of a different story. For Orba and Graven, the story was always about the gods, even if one of you didn't know it at first. You think about how your perception of the gods has grown and changed. So many people across the continent with bits and pieces that you had to put together for yourself to form a picture that made sense to you. By now, your struggles and sacrifices are known to many, and that list will only grow as you build up the strength of both the Reaper within you and the entirety of the Ilvigo clan, separated by physical distance but bound by closeness of spirit. These 2 months together were only a glimpse, a peek, if you will, into the legends of this Tiefling and this Goliath that have yet to fully unfold. And that is where we are going to end this campaign.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Jordan.
Thank you to my incredible players, the ones that are here, the ones that aren't, the guests that we've had along the way that have helped us flesh out the world and tell this story in the way that we wanted to tell it. And thank you to you guys. When we started this and we didn't know what we were doing and it looked like shit, it sounded even worse than shit.
It sounded shittier than it looked. Not great on both.
We picked up people along the way that just were invested in the story, and we continued to make upgrades along the way because we knew that we wanted to simply just make the experience as awesome as possible for the viewers, for our castmates, for everyone. And looking at the difference between now and then it's mind-boggling. I mean, every day we remember some shitty part. We were reminiscing the other day about how in the studio that we used to shoot out of, and it was so hot, that's no secret because you can see us sweating buckets. We used to have ice packs on our back to keep us from overheating in the studio.
Yep.
And now we're just enjoying the cool air of the studio that we're in. All of you guys seriously make this such an incredible experience. I mean, we love playing, but we also love the interactive element and the storytelling and the back and forth. We love reading all of the posts that you guys make, comments everywhere, whether it's YouTube or Twitch or Instagram, TikTok. In TikTok and in the Discord as well. The people that come in to share their portion of it, and sometimes just to share their own stories about their own campaigns and their own homebrew. I've said it means the world to us 1,000 times, but it really does. It really means quite a lot. And from here, we will be moving forward. I'll once again recap just the loose framework, and hopefully we'll have a little bit to tease next week when we do our talk back. But the
You
plan
said we were gonna get a
is-
tease tonight.
No,
Did
I
he?
think I no, I said
All
talk
right.
back.
Son of a bitch.
Deception
Got it.
tag.
Oh, that's
weird.
Next week will be a little talk back. We're going to answer questions. Deirdre will be here to facilitate the wonderful discussion. After that, we're going to do a little mini kind of dungeon crawl. It's probably going to be heavily combat based, but a little. It's probably going to be you'll probably be playing our characters similar to the side quests that we did when we were virtual. It's going to be like, oh, at this point, maybe they went off and did a little side adventure. So it'll just be kind of a fun, lighthearted romp.
So does that mean it's not
It's not the
the
underdog.
last time I've ever played Orba in my life?
Oh my god.
It will be again mostly combat.
Orba will
but,
always
Orba
be
will
with
always. But
Okay.
after that little mini campaign, we were gonna have a week off, fully off, while we prepare for the beginning of campaign 2. We're so excited. Like, it's so hard to not share everything all at once. But
Goddamn.
we've begun the new intro.
Yep.
We've gotten the music for our intro, which is, we've listened to it nonstop. We're so excited. And our cast has been confirmed, finally. We're fully confirmed cast for that campaign. And we will be revealing those names, of course. And you'll be seeing some promotional images.
You little tease.
Use the teaser book.
I mean, I actually
Easy
don't know
word.
when all that material is coming out. So
I have no
don't know.
idea. We'll find out.
So that will trickle out over the course of the next month or so, and then we will dive into campaign 2, which should be amazing. And we hope that you're all there. We hope that new people come in and just you hope make them feel welcome.
Yes.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends, because if you're getting caught up, you won't be watching this, so I don't know why I'm saying this, but it's not going to be like spoiler campaign 1 stuff. So
No.
you can be still enjoying campaign 1 and come and enjoy campaign 2.
Yeah,
It's not
Right
not
now.
like season 1, season 2. This is full new story.
very separate. Yeah, it's gonna be in a kind of loose alternate timeline. So a lot of the same like places still exist, but it's not in Antisuyu, and it's
Oh my goodness.
and it's fully separate. So yeah, there will be no spoilers. Easy to just jump into a new campaign, and it will be very different. We have some just the way it's structured. I think is going to be very, very different.
Yeah.
And anything you guys want to say?
Well,
Thank
aside
you
from
again.
saying thank you to folks that are in the chat and watching, but thank you, Matt,
Thank you, Matt.
for one of the best and most unforgettable experiences ever.
Unreal.
You guys have been the best. I feel extremely lucky to have had people jump in that from the beginning, from the get-go, required so little hand-holding or working out the kinks. Like, the kinks were worked out technologically later, but in terms of character and roleplay, it was so easy. So easy. Could always count on you guys to explore the world, investigate threads, be curious, role play, all the things that you want as a dungeon master. So it's gonna be a whole new experience, and yet we've learned a lot. So it's gonna be very much building on what we already know. There was a lot of rules we weren't aware of. Don't worry, we'll still fuck up rules. But we can't wait to take what we know now and bring it to the next level and the next campaign.
Into campaign 2.
Campaign 2.
Any words? You don't have to.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
If you'd like to say some
Yeah.
names, please.
Okay, hold on. I had to refresh. Give me 1 sec. What time did we take our break? Like 8:30?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, we ran a little late
No,
there.
that's
Thank you
okay.
for the people who are still.
Last episode. All right, so Ali Slayer did 100 bits. Oh wait, no, I did these things. Ali Slayer is still amazing though. Ali Slayer did 200 bits. I may as well have just said it. Pogodoko gifted a sub. Admiral Tempest subscribed with Prime. That was Prime because we were talking so much about
So
Prime.
Prime.
Ali Slayer gifted a sub and then did 100 bits. GF Powers did 100 bits. Ali Slayer did 100 bits, and Cool Shaver with a hot 2,000 bits coming in at the end.
Thank you, guys.
Final shout out once again to like some of the just like the people that are a part of the community that are organizing things just because they want to, like Pokodoko, Jeremiah, Dude, the people in the fandom, like Ignorant Science, like anybody who's been silly generous with
Thank you.
with gifted subs and bits and like commented on
every YouTube video, which is a lot of them. Like every single action that you take for the show, like boosts us to a place we never thought
Really
imaginable.
Yeah, I mean, in addition to the support, just like the knowledge of like it really keeps us going and makes us excited to keep doing it.
So we're looking forward to giving you one more thing to be enthusiastic and in love with.
Yeah.
So thank you all so much.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I put a command for the specific part for the tabletop talks where you can submit questions on our Discord, but also I'll just throw the entire Discord in there because Pokodoko should be making a little forum post for this most recent episode where we can talk and not worry about spoilers. So go ahead and join us there, and yeah, we'll be answering questions in Twitch chat as well.
Yeah.
But we just wanted to get like a solid library of questions just to have in our back pocket. To
Yeah,
think
because
about.
we'll start with those, and but yeah, tune in to ask questions there if you prefer, and we'll be taking stuff from the chat and reading your funny comments, and stuff like that.
I got nothing else,
Thank
dude. I got nothing.
Me too.
For the final time for Campaign 1, A Peek Beneath the Veil, we're gonna say goodnight and have a wonderful week, and we will see you next week to chat about the events of the campaign. Have a good night, everybody,
Thank
and
you
have a great
all
week.
so much.
See you next week.